Right, Drax, I'm going to have to take 10 points off you for that one. That was a terrible joke. What's up, chat? Welcome on in to a Wednesday night D&D with Evil and Friends. Nutty with the resub, 13 months. Thank you so much, appreciate it. Well, it's actually, you've been subscribed for 35 months, but on a 13-month streak. And banned. No, you don't get banned for dad jokes around here, man. Jeez, if that was the case, I would have banned myself a long time ago. But we're here for a Wednesday, episode 3 of our Lost Mines of Phandelver adventure. Once again, we have our wonderful cast of players. We have over here, no, over there, that way, Mr. Trashman. Yeah, that guy. That weird fella that is here sometimes. And then next to him, over in the corner there, we've got Mr. JJ Aussie Punk. You can find him at his Twitch address above his head there, where he does the EFED stuff. And then below me, we have Mr. Grim Realities. Again, doesn't stream a whole lot, but we got his Twitch address there as well. So when he does stream, check him out. Find him over there at twitch.tv/Grim Realities. And right down the bottom, we have Mr. Air Code as well, joining us once again. And also you can find Era on his Twitch channel doing things like SnowRunner and Fortnite and other bits and pieces over there as well. Currently hanging out with us on a Wednesday night. So welcome to any of Era's crew that are joining us this evening as well. I know Era is hosting us on his channel, and so welcome all you guys in as well. So, I guess without any further ado, we should rejoin our story and run through our recap from last week. So, last we left off, team, our ragtag group had spent the evening near the coast, in which they each took turns on watch, which went without many hassles. The next day, you set off and headed towards the Treebor Trail, turning eastward. Once hitting the trail, knowing that maybe a day and a half away you'd be resting at maybe the Stonehill Inn in Phandelver after a long journey, 10 gold in your pockets, and a little of experience maybe to share with companions in the future, or future friends, future family perhaps. However, the tensions between Tallfellow and his companions were still running a little high. Not wanting to be overly friendly with his newfound companions, but you were nonetheless together still, traveling the Treebor Trail, as the road is well less traveled than the high road. Ark was finding it a little less comfortable riding the wagon, as the road had many potholes and ruts and things from horses and beasts of burden traveling this smaller road. Eventually, however, your passage was blocked, seemingly by a couple of deceased horses being pulled out, almost purposely pulled out into the road, embedded with several arrows with dark feathers. Upon closer inspection, the horses seemed relatively familiar to you, but before you could really get a really good look, you were attacked. Several goblinoid creatures emerging from the trees, attacking the crew, spreading out and defending themselves. You managed to deal with these goblin ambushes with relative ease, it seems. Then, on closer inspection, the horses, familiar as they were, you believe belonged to Gundren Rockseeker, your benefactor, and his human companion, Sildar Hallwinter, I believe his name is. Realizing that the saddlebags had been pillaged and emptied, a little bit of more investigation, you discover a trail leading into the dense woods. Trail of blood. Following this trail for a short distance, you then find drag marks and almost like a small goat trail leading further into the woods towards it's sort of a hilly area. discussing and planning, deciding to empty the wagon of its contents to stop it from being stolen, hiding them in the trees and tying up your oxen and cart to the side of the road, hoping it would still be there when you returned. You decided to follow this trail and attempt to find out what happened to your benefactor at the very least. We then find you at the entry of a small cave, a creek bed, shallow creek trickling out from its mouth. You take care of the 2 guards in the front of this cave and hiding in a small thicket with relative ease. Then feeding their bodies to the pack of wolves, or the few wolves that were tied up at the cave entrance, to distract them, keep them occupied while you started your search. Once inside, you discovered a steep embankment which you scaled relatively quietly, finding a group of about half a dozen goblins. Some sleeping, some eating around a small campfire. Quick planning led you to ambushing these particular goblins and dispatching them very, very quickly. A well-laid plan indeed, leaving 1 or 2 alive after the initial attack, which you dealt with quickly. A couple of you taking a little bit of damage, one taking a lot of damage but managing to heal yourselves up with a potion or 2 that you'd had on your person. You take care of the small hobgoblin who was holding a human captive, and as it seems, this human was none other than Sildar Hallwinter. Injured yet alive, he lets you know that he's not sure if Gundren is in this cave or not. He had heard his captors talking about a person called Klarg, and maybe Klarg has Rockseeker. At the very least, his gear is with this Klarg person, he thinks, and he has offered a payment of 10 gold apiece as well for a return of his equipment and to meet him at the Stonehill Inn in Phandelver. And this is pretty much where we rejoin you guys as you continue your exploration of this dark, damp cave. And when I can go at Cragmaw Hideout, here we go. So, we do find you guys back in this damp cave. The sound of the creek further into the cave can be heard trickling, the dripping water, the wind sort of blowing through the cabins as well. You have a small campfire here. You've just dispatched all these combatants. Sildar has made his exit, and as far as you're aware, he is on his way to Phandelver. You can hear a sneeze in the back, in the back further in the cave. It seems maybe one of these goblins has caught a cold. Perhaps might die slowly. Who knows? The sounds of the wolves can still be heard on occasion, although less so than before. So you'd essentially, before we left off, you'd just completed this combat. So a couple of you'd healed yourselves. You still have the bodies are all still here. The fire's still going. It's relatively warm in this particular part of this cabin. I will now turn over to you guys as you decide what you're going to do.
So how are we all doing?
Nothing like a good battle to liven it up.
Yeah, it's a mess in here.
It's glorious in here. What are you talking about?
I sort of lift my foot off of a splat of dead goblin. I'm like, ugh. Right. I know what tickles your fancy then. I'm glad we got the old man out. I think it would have been a liability, especially we have to check the rest of the cave for that bearded fella.
Has anyone searched the bodies yet? DM,
No, you have not searched the bodies as yet.
I'm gonna have a look at the leader, or presumed leader.
So the one up here that was killed last.
Yep.
What? Firstly, what I'm going to do before we're going to make the first roll of the night. Before we do anything, because we're going to obviously you guys know what goblins look like. So I will get you all to roll that history check for me in the chat. I want to see if anyone may have an inkling on what a hobgoblin is. Okay, why did Arcos not roll? That was weird.
Well, a bit of lag there.
Yeah.
I got a bit of lag anyway.
Yeah, just maybe the timer ran. No, it shouldn't be a timer on it. Anywho, did yours roll at all?
Yeah. I got a 14.
You got a 14. Okay, so we'll run it with that. Because it didn't show me yours rolling. That's weird. Anywho, so all those over a 12, obviously. So Youngblood, you've never seen a hobgoblin before. You know, you're pretty certain these things are goblins. You've seen those around. But the rest of you, looking at the slightly bigger individual up at the top of the little rise there at the top of the stairs, you all know what you've heard of hobgoblins. I would say Arcos, you've probably seen a few, definitely in your travels. I would say Zankus, you've probably seen one as well. Yeah, you've probably read about them in your studies and seen drawings of them. Slightly bigger version of a standard goblin, a lot thicker set, darker skin, sometimes reddish in color. Definitely a lot taller than an average goblin. So, searching I'm not going to get your roll investigation. They're dead. Easy enough to search the body. What old Mr. Hobgoblin has on his person, he's carrying some makeshift leather armor. It's not great. It's just piecemeal leathers. Looks like he stitched them together himself. He's got a short bow by the looks of it, and a scimitar, a small buckler, small shield. Again, nothing huge, but just a small shield, and that's pretty much about it. Doesn't appear to be carrying any kind of gold or money on him. But you do find a small piece of parchment, rolled up parchment. Kind of crumpled, rolled together, like it's been rolled up, but he sort of crumpled it and put it inside his leathers.
Well, in that case, I'll pick up the scimitar and get the piece of paper as well.
So you want the scimitar?
Yeah.
I can add that to your inventory, which is really good. So you take the parchment as well?
Yeah. Upon sheathing the scimitar, I open the parchment and see if I can decipher what it says. If anything.
What is... I know it's shop items, dumbass. Oh, well, I want shared items. That's why I wasn't coming up. It's like, oh. So you open the parchment and...
I'll do that.
and an alarm sounds in the background. I will just add the scimitar.
The dead gobbos are playing tunes for us.
Yeah, he's playing. Someone's playing bagpipes in the background, man. So we've got a scimitar. The regular scimitar. We'll add that to your inventory. Done. So, although Tracy's away there, I will hold this just in case he doesn't want to read it out to the rest of you, but it is in common. So Zankus is sort of walks up the top and starts rummaging through this larger hobgoblin's body. What are the rest of you doing?
I guess we wait here while he fiddles with the dead. I suppose we probably could use a bit of a break. That was a bit more than I was expecting. Good throw though there, Green Man. I nearly didn't make it, but you know. maybe I should snack a bit less.
Yeah, I don't really throw people very often, so you know, not bad for first time.
Yeah, you'll get the hang of it. So what do we reckon of this Klarg fella? Klarg. What sort of creature's a Klarg?
I don't know, creature we kill.
Yeah.
I just hope he's got some information that we can get off him.
Yeah, information would be nice.
Yeah, a bit of information would be alright. And hopefully they didn't kill the dwarf. He's the one that's going to pay to us. He looked like he had a bit of money. God, he's taking forever. What are you doing up there?
So, I don't know how long Jason's going to be, but he ignores you, as he has done. So, yeah, Zankus just, well, I'll even move him up there, just so we know where he is. So, yeah, Zankus has his back to you, and he's sort of, you see him, he's bent down, you see he's grabbed the scimitar, and he's put it into his belt, and he's grabbed a couple bits and pieces, and he's just sort of standing there, and he's not really listening to you guys at this point. You do hear on occasion back down this way, in this area, it's hard to sort of judge how close or how far away, but you do hear the sound of those footsteps that you heard earlier as coming into this, sort of that backwards and forwards. It gets slightly louder, then it stops, then it turns and gets more distant, and then it stops, and it seems to be relatively constant. No kind of set timing. It's sort of, at one point it stops, you don't hear it for a while, then you hear it come back a few moments later. All of you would know. I mean, you've got a relatively intelligent group. You would understand that there's obviously someone patrolling nearby.
Arcos is going to get bored and try and stealth. He's going
to stealth away. He's going to use his sense of smell.
Yeah, I'm going to try and sneak up and see if I can find the cause of that noise.
Okay, so I'll get you to roll a. We'll get it up here. We'll get Arcos to roll stealthy stuff. Stealth. 21. As far as you're aware, you are stealthed. Sneaky stealth. So you are in a bit of a stealthy situation. So you move forward slowly. Do you let the others know that you're going to have a look-see? Or do you just wander off?
I just wander off.
So the rest of your passives are not high enough to notice. But 1 minute you're talking to Arcos and he's sort of wandering around, and next thing you Youngblood and you look around and Arcos is gone. You don't know where he is. Arcos, you move down the passageway a little bit, and then after a while you start hearing those footsteps getting closer and closer to sort of this end of the corridor, and I would say about there you would see, and I'll turn him around because he'd be coming up there, and then he'd turn and he'd stop there for a second. I am just going to do a quick roll here for him. Yeah, no, his perception's shit, as you can see. So he does not appear to notice you as he turns, waits for a second, and then heads out of view once again.
Sorry about that, guys. That was me dad. He was in hospital today.
All good, bud. All good. We will come back to you in a moment. So that's what you see, Arcos. You hear him walk up. He's sort of, you can hear him sort of muttering to himself under breath. Fucking dirty wolves. Klarg. You sort of make out bits and pieces, but not too much. And then he walks away, and you hear him stop, and he sort of hangs out there for a bit.
I'm gonna ready my short bow, and so I've got it because I
Okay.
know he's going back and forth.
Okay, so we'll leave you there just for a second, and we'll come back to Zankus. So we'll backtrack a little bit. So you, Arcos, for the intents and purposes of this, if Zankus does read out this note, you will be privy to it as well, because it would have been before you left. So Zankus, as you reach down, you pick up the scimitar, you slot it into your belt, which is now in your inventory. You pick up the parchment. Do you unroll it? Have a look at it. It's not easy to read. It's almost chicken scratchings. It's in broken common. But a few words stand out to you. One is Phandelver and supplies. Rock Seeker and a place called Cragmaw Castle is what you determine from that. Everything else is sort of, it's like I said, it's in really broken common and is kind of hard to read, but those particular words stand out to you.
The castle bit, that's where we were taking the supplies, wasn't it?
You were going to Phandelver. So you, I will get you, in fact, I will select you, because all you guys are from the area, Neverwinter, and you're all familiar. You're familiar with surrounding areas and things like that. But I will get you, when I find it, to roll a history check for me, Zankus, as you're the one currently reading this. And with a 19, obviously, with a 19, you know what Phandelver is. That's where you're going.
Yep.
Cragmaw Castle. You've heard of Cragmaw Castle. It's a ruin. You're sure it's been abandoned for a lot of years, but you've definitely heard of it. You know where it is. You've definitely heard of the place. But as far as you're around, it's just a ruin. It's not. No one would. Why would anyone want to go to Cragmaw? I mean, it's an old derelict castle. Nothing's there anymore. So now it's up to you whether you share this information with the rest of your group or whether you keep that to yourself at this point.
I'll keep it to myself at this point.
So are you going to try and hide the fact that you've read this piece of paper and are going to stash it, or are you going to have you read it sort of overtly and then stashing it?
I've read it, then just stash it.
So you're not trying to hide it? So I would say with all of you guys passives, you're all a sort of 10 or higher, you would notice that he's grabbed the scimitar and he's got this piece of paper. He's unfilled the piece of paper. He's had a bit of a read. He's sort of folded or scrolled it back up and put it into his pack or into his pocket or into a pouch, whatever. So whether you want to ask him about it is completely up to you at this point, which we will sort of do a quick round of that before we go back to Arcos. So Arcos, you'll be involved in this as well at this point because it'll be before you disappeared.
So, Blue Boy, what's that you put in your pocket?
Just a parchment with chicken scratching on it.
What does it say?
And pull it out and hand it to you.
So, you have a look at it, Who, and you can read. You can make out the same words. It's actually Who. You speak Goblin, don't you?
Yep.
So, what you get from this as you read it, because you can pick up on the goblinoid words, as I said, this is in broken common / goblin. You get Phandelver supplies hidden in cave, ambush worked well. Then you also hear, you also read as a little bit further down, filthy dwarf taken to Cragmaw Castle for interrogation.
Just putting it down. So I'll let the guys know what I've worked out from there about the supplies.
Okay, so you read that
So
out to them?
supplies, yeah, I read them out. I read it out.
Okay.
To them. And that they've got the dwarf taking the dwarf to Cragmaw Castle. So, are we still gonna run through this cave?
Uh-oh.
Go
Might
exit
as
straight.
well.
Take
that
the
was
cart
weird.
into Phandelver, maybe.
More supplies, more money, right?
What supplies were they? Weren't they just traveling by horse by themselves?
Just says supplies hidden in cave.
Yeah. And it'll be why they're talking about the supplies that Arcos is spears.
Okay. So as you guys are speaking and talking backwards and forwards among yourself, you would eventually notice that Arcos is not there anymore. And his stealth chip is definitely higher than your passive, Zankus, so you don't notice him slip away either.
Okay, where's Arcos gone?
Oh, bloody rogues.
Bloody bugs ran off on us. Hope he hasn't got himself killed out there.
We're gonna have to go out and find him. I think, see what he's up to.
Fucking hell.
So we'll leave you guys there for just a second. We'll head back to Arcos. So Arcos, you ready your bow?
No.
And why did that music just stop? Oh no, that was a fire. I was hearing the fire. I was hooked on someone else. So you ready yourself, ready to wait for this goblin to come back. You know it's a goblin. You saw him move, and you start hearing those footsteps. Sorry, you can't hear footprints. Moving again in that general direction towards you, and again he gets to about. I think I've lost this. I need to refresh because I cannot see my goblin on here. I need to refresh my DM view, guys. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
It must have had a bit of an interwebs issue there at the moment. It knocked it out. Is the stream still up? We're still good?
Mm.
Think
Yes,
so?
stream's still up.
Yep, we're good.
Yep.
You did have a hiccup in the camera, I noticed.
Yeah, I saw that
wondering
too.
when it all went.
Did see that. So you do see the goblin again reach just the corner. You just sort of see him reach there, and he starts to turn,
Yep. So I'll wait until he's turned and then
and he
fire
turns.
at the back.
So you're going to fire it into his back with your bow. So I will give you advantage as you are definitely stealth. His perception was super low. So you'll get advantage on this attack. I'll get you to step out just a little bit so
Yeah.
the camera. Here we go. So the camera picks this up. Just for a visual representation here. So we're going to zoom in on Arcos here, guys. So Arcos, you ready your bow. You steady yourself. You take a breath in. So I'll get you to attack with advantage, sir. So hold Alt and click, which will give you the advantage on the roll. That definitely hits, and you will get sneak attack damage as you are a roguish type, I believe,
Yeah.
because you attacked from a hidden position.
Action.
It's already done 9 damage.
Sneak attack.
Further 5 points of damage. This goblin is dead. I don't know why, because we're not on initiative, but it is definitely dead. You managed to splatter him. I will just disappear him at the moment. You line that shot up, single shot, right to the base of the spine. Something you're good at. You know where to aim. You sever the spinal cord, dropping him instantly to the ground without a sound.
And I walk up and I go, I'll take that back, and I rip the arrow out of his spine. And
definitely, you can. I think I should be able to add that arrow back to your inventory. Done.
Yep. And then I'll.
So just de-target him because it won't automatically do it because we're not actually in combat. I'll get you to de-target.
He's gone, so I can't.
Oh, hang on. I'll turn him back on. You can de-target him, and then we'll get rid of him.
Yep.
Done. So with that, you do that. Now what are you going to do? Are you going to continue forward, or are you going to go back to your group?
I'm going to go back to the group and ask him what's taking him so long.
So you make your way back, again relatively stealthily, I'm assuming. And as you guys are preparing to sort of head off and try and find Arcos steps out of the shadows and into the light of the small campfire.
We moving or what, guys?
Right, where'd you come from?
Having a bloody tea party in here, eh?
Scared the shit out of me.
Where the fuck did you go, Bugs?
Remember how we heard the footsteps? Well, that ain't happening no more.
Yeah, so they did some sneaky sneaks and some shooty shoots.
Yeah.
So what are we doing, team?
So, we heading up that way?
Yeah, there's a bridge up the way. I'm not sure. I mean, we're all pretty light, except maybe Youngblood. Looks like it might hold most of us.
Yeah, it was looking pretty rickety, but you'll have to get a closer look.
Maybe I'll go last. See what happens.
So, you guys can continue on your way if you are going to continue your journey.
So, head up. And stop before I get to...
We'll get you to stop about the bridge.
Yep.
Yep. Youngblood's bringing up the rear.
Okay.
Alright, so we can move this over now. So...
Like it. Collides with the wall. What have I done here?
I can fix you there. I know what you've done. It's just because it's quite a narrow path. Yeah, so just use you can use your arrow keys to sort of move around, but I can drag you to where you need to go. We'll put you back. Put you back there for now, so you're on the path. Once you get into a more open space, it'll be a little easier. These narrow paths make it a little difficult sometimes. So what you can see when you get to this area here, guys, is you've got what looks like there's definitely a small bridge. Is it that stream that you crossed as you came in to the cave continues upwards, and you can see it's even though it's still quite dark in here, the water seems to be giving off a little bit of a low sheen, which bounces light off the walls, which even without a torch, it still gives you a little bit of light. The stream passage continues upwards. You can see a bunch of uneven sort of steps on either side of this embankment here leading up to what looks to be in the distance up, and you can see there's a small waterfall trickling down. Looks to be more water coming from above. In the distance you can hear what can only be described as running water. It's not super loud at this point, but it's right on the sort of edge of your hearing, but it seems to be echoing throughout this portion of the cave. Could be a small waterfall, kind of hard to tell at this point. But the bridge is rickety. It spans a small passage that, like, the water's not super deep underneath it. Youngblood, you'd be able to wade through it easily enough. It's probably about 4.5, 5 feet deep. But the bridge looks sturdy enough. It's definitely goblinoid made. It's not fashioned in a way that a great craftsman would be proud of. That's for certain. But it's not bad. It's definitely sturdy enough for people to walk across. You don't really hear anything else. I will get to see what you guys can hear. I'll get you all to roll a perception check. There we go. Oh, just waiting on who's. There we go.
Yeah, I had a bit of lag there. Sorry.
Yeah, so I've had a little bit on this end too. Windows update. That's what it'll be. So everyone over a 10. So Arcos, maybe your mind's still on that amazing shot that you pulled off. Guys, as you walked past, you did find the body of a goblin too, dispatched, lying quite dead in the passageways you passed by. And Arcos, you're looking at, you think, shit, that was a brilliant shot. Single shot, base to spine. Such a proud shot. Your captain would have been so proud of a shot like that. I mean, that's the type of shot that is made once in a blue moon kind of deal. But the rest of you do hear, on the edge of that water sound, you do hear what could be voices. Again, not 100% sure, but it could be maybe more goblins. So I would allow you guys to have a little bit of a heads up that there potentially is hostiles moving forward, which may give you an advantage or two moving into the next area, perhaps. We will see. So I'll turn it back over to you now, as you got the running water there. You've got this passage leading up here. You've got another small sort of series of uneven steps on this side. And we'll leave it up to you which way you're going to go or what you're going to do.
Maybe Arcos would like to go out up ahead and scout for us to see what he can see. Seeing I'm assuming that was his handiwork back there.
I love how you always nominate me for shit.
Well, you are the stealthy one, are you not?
Yeah, I wish you'd be a little bit more quiet. All right, I'll go. I will go across the bridge.
We're gonna need another stealth check from Arcos.
Hey.
Not so good this time. Well, not as good as previously, but as far as you're aware, you are stealthy.
When it's +7, it's always okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Damn rogues. So move yourself to where you think you would position yourself to get a look at this next area. So you got a couple of options. You can go left or right on of that embankment in front of you.
I'd sort of like peek down the lower one, see if I could see anything, and then go back round and see if I could see anything that way.
So both sides, just to give you a bit of context, that both sides rise up. So it's a relatively steep incline. So you'd have to get about halfway up either side before you'd be able to get a glimpse into this room. So you know you're small enough to move forward and maybe peek above the rise to sort of see what's in the room.
Yeah. I think I'd go up actually, because he's quite comfortable with water, and
okay.
I think there's something about the sound that would
cool.
You know, just
no dramas. So you move yourself up around, moving
so
next
probably
to the water
up until about there.
So move yourself up to there. You're pretty good. You can probably come back one step, and you'll see. You'd still be relatively hidden. And you will see what is there. So I'll click on you over here so I can see what you see as well. And you do in fact see some goblins. They seem to be sort of milling around. I'm going to extend this a little bit. So they sort of, one's milling around next to the water here, and you can see now in this area, I'll give you a bit of a description of what you actually see. This cavern is half filled with 2 large pools of water and a narrow waterfall. As you can see it just in the distance, right off at the edge, you can see the edge of the water hitting the water below. The narrow waterfall that feeds from the east into this pool, which then drains into this area here by what looks to be like a makeshift dam of sorts. They're very crudely built, but a dam nonetheless. You know what a dam looks like. You've probably seen one before. It's very crude way of holding the water in this particular area, and it's just trickling in and down into this area here beside you, which drops about 3 or 4 feet down into the small sort of creek, which then runs out of the cave. So that is what you see. You see one goblin here, another one here, and one slightly further back. You can also catch the glimpse of maybe a firelight from this particular area.
So I head back, and I think I remember that most of them can sort of see fairly well in the dark, and I just hold up 3 fingers and make like a little goblin sort of.
And I'll give him back 4 and go.
Yeah. Fucking comedian. And it was sort of like just wave you over.
So you move forward slowly. So the rest of you going to go into a stealth with Arcos. We can keep Arcos as stealth, but we'll get. I will.
Yeah, all right.
Get a stealth check from you guys as well. So we'll get your guys' stealth as well. So as you join Arcos moving forward, we've got a 12 from Youngblood. We've got a 12 from who? Waiting on a Xanxus, which is 21. Some good rolls there. So everyone's above a 10. So with those rolls, you're confident that you're moving quietly. Youngblood, even with his chainmail armor, is it chain armor you're wearing? Yes, his chain shirt, chainmail. Sorry. Do you get disadvantage on stealth with chainmail? I don't think you do. No, I think you're good. So you managed to move forward quickly, quietly, following Arcos's lead. So what are we doing, team?
So Blue Boy, remember how you like murked like 3 goblins in one shot in the other room? You reckon you could do that again to these bastards?
So whispering, because I dare say they're in earshot. No, but if they get in the water, I might be able to do something.
Yeah, they're not big on bathing. What about you, Feathers? You just here for the comedy? You got some skills, maybe?
Well, how many's down there? 3.
Yeah.
I can't see him around this corner, so I need to see him to hit anything. So
How astute of you. I mean, if you got anything that'll take all 3 out at once,
no,
we're set.
no, one at a time.
Well, shit.
I have an idea. First off, I want to use shape water. In that area.
You're going to try and shape water in that area. Okay, what is your intention? What is the range on shape water? It's like 30 feet?
Yeah, 30 feet.
Yeah.
That's why I chose that area.
It's all good. So what is your intention?
So I'm going to shape water, make it into a ball, raise it up, and let it drop, make a splash in that area.
Okay.
In an attempt to draw those three into the water.
Easily enough done. I will get you. How can we? We can try. So they'll definitely splash. Won't need you to make a roll. I will make a roll on these guys' behalf. We're gonna get them to roll a group perception roll. I'm gonna hide this one though. I would say, yeah, with those rolls, someone's turning down my waterfall. Yeah, that waterfall is that loud in game on purpose. It's not static, it's a waterfall. So yeah, so with that roll, you raise it up, you build up this ball of water, you raise it up 5 feet from the surface of the water, and then you let it go, and it drops, heavy splash. This one here moves forward and looks in that general area, trying to figure out what the hell the noise was. These two don't seem to be affected by it, so the two further back, you can't really see them on. You can see them on your line of sight, maybe. No, you can't because of the rock. You can probably see the edge of this one.
Yeah, I can see the edge of that one.
There is one further back that you can't see, but they don't seem to move. But this first one definitely moves towards the edge and starts looking, sort of trying to figure out what it is.
I'll hold there for a couple of minutes, see if he actually enters the water.
Okay, as you sit, you wait and watch. He doesn't look like he's going to. Like he's just really standing at that edge, just looking to see if anybody's there. Like he's on sort of alert now, looking around. After maybe a minute or two, he then, satisfied that nothing's there, turns and heads back towards this other one. Put him there. So you can see him then turn, and you can't make out what they're saying because the sound of the waterfall is now, you can hear it now, it's quite prevalent. As you get closer, it's definitely going to get louder, but you can see that they're talking, you just can't hear what they're saying.
Any other ideas, people?
I'm going to go around the other side. If we can get some shots off from over here, maybe we can take out all three at once. Yeah?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Big Green, you just pick up something really big and you could toss it. Just toss it.
Well, I do have
sure.
this lightning lure, which I can grab one of them with, I guess.
Could always throw something. Get him
Turn
try
it
to
back up.
chase in the water.
So I'm going to go back down to the bridge and head this way.
Okay, so put yourself in the position. You get it, like I say, you can get about halfway, 2/3 of the way up without being seen. No hassles at all. Before that rise sort of brings you right up into that room with how steep the embankment is. About there is about as far as you'll be able to go without being seen. You're pretty confident that you remain hidden there. So we'll get everyone else to position themselves where they're going, where they are, and then what I will do is I'll give you guys a chance to do, again, you've sort of planned another surprise attack here from the shadows.
I'm going with
You're going to go with Arcos?
Arcos.
Okay. So what I'll do is we will give you guys... We'll do pretty much the same as what we did before. You've planned this out. I'll give you guys 1 attack each. And then... regardless of the initiative order. So I will put you into initiative. But I will move the initiative order to give you guys the first attack. So we'll put our initiative up there. I'll get you guys to roll your initiative.
Mm-hmm. Waste a natural 20 on initiative. Eesh.
It's not bad. I mean, who are we missing? We got who's there? It is. A bit of a lag came through eventually. So we're going to begin our combat scenario here. 1 second, we're just going to come back over to our combat music when I can find it. Music, not that one. Battle music, here we go. We're going to start our battle music there. Then I'm going to begin our combat. So Arcos, you'll get obviously first go because you're at the top of the initiative order. Don't end your turns yourselves, because I'll cycle through and give you guys all an attack first. So you'll get your first attack for free, just your action, so no bonus action at this point. So this is just a straight action from everybody.
Yeah. So
Arcos first.
I'll try and let Feathers know that I won. It's because we didn't talk about who we were going to shoot, so we might all shoot the same dude.
I would allow you guys to discuss it now before we actually do it, because you guys have planned it, so you choose which ones you're going to attack.
I'm going to shoot the one at that closest to me.
Yeah, I can see the one behind him, so I can.
Yep. So obviously you'll be able to see who you can see.
I can only see one.
Can you?
And that's the one you're targeting.
You should be able to see another one now as it slowly moves. Because these guys are sort of moving a little bit. That one is this one here that who is targeting is remains static though.
All right. Well, I'll aim at the one at the back. I wasn't aiming at him before because I thought maybe I might not be able to get a shot on him because he was sort of half covered.
You still would have got a shot on him, but we'll go with that. So make your attack, which will be an advantage for you, Arcos, because you are hidden, which will give you sneak attack as well.
All right. So do there.
That definitely hits with a natural 20. It is dead again. That amazing shot. No need even for the sneak attack. As you line your shot up once again. Where do you hit this guy? You describe his death.
So I sort of he sort of stops and he thinks about it for a second. He's like, the best chance is to go for the one at the front. He's like, yeah, but I'm more impressive than that. And he sort of shoots up high to try and get over.
Oh, so you're going to do an arcing shot. Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
He sort of arcs over and it sort of catches the goblin right on the tip of its nose, goes through the bridge of the nose and down into the mouth.
And this guy here is absolutely oblivious to what has just happened behind him. His back to him. Although this one here, his eyes, you guys can't see it because he's got his back to you, but his eyes just go wide as he sees this arrow land, striking this goblin right in the face, and he starts to turn to see where it came from. And his mates are looking at him confused as he's starting to turn. So as he starts to turn, it will now be who? It is now your turn in that initiative order.
Okay.
So you can now target whoever you're going to target.
Well?
You will get advantage on this as well. Everyone will have the advantage on the attack because you are striking from a hidden position. So Alt click will give you the advantage.
Yep, I've gone back one from where Arcos attacked, so the one in the middle that I can see.
You targeting it. Yep. So Toll of the Dead. This guy needs to make a wisdom saving throw, which he's now going to make. Rolls a natural 20, saves on the throw. And I believe if he saves on that, he takes no damage because it's a cantrip. Yes, it is a cantrip, so he does not take any damage, unfortunately, because he did save. He feels that pressure in his brain, and his eyes widen for a second, and then he, confused, starts looking around to try and see what happened. He's not overly intelligent, so you might get away with this. He doesn't seem to have seen you, but something has hurt him, and he's not happy. Next up will be Zankus.
So the one I'm targeting, I'm going to use Lightning Lure on him.
Lightning Lure, no Doris. So again, at advantage. Oh, so it's just a save?
I believe so.
Okay, so it will do damage, but I believe it's a saving throw. So his saving throw will be at disadvantage. Because he doesn't know where it's coming from, which he will definitely fail. He will take the 4 damage from the lure. And what does it do?
Where'd it go?
Does it pull him back?
Yeah, pull him towards me. Hang on.
It says here target must be within 5 feet.
It says 15. Choose a target that you can see within 15 feet of you.
What does it say on the spell? Target must be within 15 feet. Maybe that within 5 feet. Maybe that's the damage.
The target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pulled up to 10 feet in a straight line toward me, and then take 1d8 lightning damage.
If it's within 5 feet of you. Okay, so cool. So 15 feet straight towards you, easily enough.
10.
10 feet. Which will have it about there, which it will take damage because it pulls it directly into you.
And with that, I'll follow up with the bonus action.
No, you won't.
I can't?
No, because this is not an actual turn in combat. This is just your initial action to get into combat. You'll get your bonus action next turn. So that's you, Youngblood. It is now your turn. So you have got an option here. You can target this guy in the back with your bow, or you can jump in beside this guy and target that.
Ignore that.
I will. It misses him. It missed him anyway.
I'm trying to put the dagger into the bonus section. Won't let me.
Oh, on your HUD?
Yeah.
You'll have to drag it out from your character sheet.
That's what I'm doing, but it's not. It must be because I'm in combat.
I'd say so. We'll look at that for next when the combat ends. So, Youngblood, your turn. What are you going to do?
I'm going to sneak in, whip the closest guy to me into me, and try to snap his neck.
So you're going to grab this guy. So target this one. You got 10-foot reach on your whip. So alt click to target him.
That's right. Sorry.
No, you're good. So just roll to hit. So yours will be at advantage. Again, you don't really need it. You hit him. You do 5 points of damage. You don't even need to pull him. You whip him around the neck and you grab him and you go to rip him towards you, and all you hear is Zankus, you hear a sickening crack as just pure strength from Youngblood snaps the goblin's neck and it drops limp to the ground in front of you. Just remember to detarget when you finish, guys. So now we go back to the... Oh, you might not have to. I think the combat will do it for you. So now we're in actual initiative. So we're back to normal initiative now. Arcos, it is your turn. There's only one goblin left standing. He is looking frantically around. You see him and muffled, like hear him muffled say something. You can't make out what it is over the sound of the waterfall. The waterfall is like quite loud, especially now that you start if you start moving into this room, you realize that it is getting a lot louder. So you know there's something down here. You're not sure what. Nothing else seems to be coming at this point that you can see. as you have a quick sort of look around. So, what are you doing?
So Arcos being familiar with someone possibly about to turn and maybe get some some comrades, he's gonna just bolt.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's about to run, like he's freaking out.
I'm actually gonna drop my bow because it's the most efficient thing to do, and just sling my daggers out in both hands. And just sort of charge at him.
Yeah, point of reference for flavor, you drop your bow. In general respect, you can swap a weapon on your movement. Free of charge. So I mean, just your bow. You still got your bow. You sling it over your shoulder. Grab your in flight. Both daggers out. What is your intention? To just kill him?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and aim for his gut, like one hand and then the other.
No worries. And chat, the static you can hear is not static. It's actually a waterfall. So roll to hit, sir. That will miss, I believe.
Yep.
So your first attack misses. You got a bonus action, so you can offhand attack him if you wish. Better. That'll hit. And again, how do you want to do this, dude? Like, you've missed for the first, obviously, but the second is enough to render this goblin dead on the ground.
Yeah. So I sort of run up, and it's slightly steeper there, and his feet catch a bit because he's got huge feet, and he sort of goes for the first dagger shot, and it goes wide, and then he almost falls into him with the second one, and it sort of plunges in sort of sideways into the ribs in a like really awkward fashion that also rips back out as sort of slips a bit.
And that will end that combat session. We will award you guys some XP as well, which should automatically do it for you. 37 XP each. Yep, that's given you that. And that will end our combat encounter. So you can consolidate as you guys move closer, obviously to the waterfall. Its noise is almost deafening as you get closer to it. It's like 30 feet dropping out of the ceiling into this pool. So it is very loud. If it's too much for you guys, let me know. I can turn it off. I know sometimes these sounds can just get crazy. So let me know if it's too much for you guys. I can switch it off. So we'll turn it over to you. The combat is finished. You have dealt with these goblins swiftly and without prejudice, or with prejudice, I should say. You now have, as you move forward, Zankus, from where you are, I would imagine. Yes, you can. So Zankus, you can sort of see into this room. The goblin here with his back to you. Seems to be some other supplies and crates in the back of this room. You can see the dim light of a fire flickering up to you. Put on this one so we can sort of hear it. So up to you what you're going to do at this point.
Well, seeing that goblin there, I'll squat down and in a quiet voice, Tom, there's more in that room down there where the fire is.
You can also see this wolf laying down on the floor as well.
Not much.
So you got the goblin here. There's a wolf here. You can't hear what's being said, if there's anything being said, because you just can't hear anything over the waterfall. Which all of you would be intelligent enough to know that this waterfall is obviously masked whatever noise you've just made dispatching these goblins. So you have got an idea that out here you can probably move relatively quickly without being heard.
Well, with that info, I'm going to move over here and see what I can see down the rest of the place.
Move yourself where you want to move yourself, guys. You put yourself in a position you think you would be. So as you can see, we've got a goblin here, that seem to have their back to you at the moment. There's a wolf here. I am going to make a quick roll for Mr. Wolf. As you guys sort of move forward, the wolf sort of, you watch, those that can see this wolf there, watch as he sort of lifts his head from the ground, sort of sniffs at the air, and slowly stands. You can see his head's low, his ears are pointing backwards. Can't hear him, but you, those that can sort of see what's going on, you can see that the lips start to curl a little bit.
Hey, big fella. You know how we tossed the goblin to those wolves down the other end? Want to grab this fella and chuck him in. We position ourselves either side of this passageway. If anyone comes out this way,
I like it. Distraction, the goblin with the wolves.
Nice.
I can do that.
We're going to grab Youngblood here.
I'll won't move myself, I'll just go grab the goblin.
Leave yourself where you are. I'm just going to grab this here. I'll get you to roll the strength check for me as you move into position and throw a goblin body. 14, that's not too bad. You throw the body of the goblin into the sea, and it lands about there, splat. The wolf head pricks up and looks, moves forward, sniffing at the goblin body. Sniff, sniff. Doesn't seem to bite into it though. Just sort of sniffs around, lifts its head, and then you see it turn and move out of view. But this guy turns. He calls out something, you can't quite hear it from where you are. This guy turns, and they both start to move forward. Checks this body, you can see him looking down, looking up, and is wide-eyed. Not anger, but almost fear in his eyes. You see him look over to his right, and then you see that for an instant, as he looks to his right, the look of fear turns into more fear, but not the type of, not being afraid, but almost like, okay, I'll do as I'm told kind of thing, like someone's just told him to do something, and slowly starts to move forward as this one follows up behind him. He will get to about there, and I will give you guys a chance to pretty much do what you do again. We're going to grab these guys here. We're going to add initiative. I'll roll for those guys. I'll get you a roll initiative, Gib, but be the same thing. We'll start with the initiative order. God, natural 20s on the initiative. God damn. Look at all those 20s. 3 20s on top of the initiative.
What a waste.
I know, right? A goblin got one as well. 2 of the goblins.
that's my second in a row.
Youngblood, just need an initiative roll from you, please. It should be on the combat tracker there for you, the dice, or on your sheet. Let me know if you can't find it, I can roll it for you. Here we go. Cool. So, what we're going to have here, I'm not going to worry about combat music this time because I don't think this is going to last that long. So Arcos, you get the initiative anyway, so I think we'll run in this initiative, but I will skip these 2 goblins. Why is that goblin there? He should be dead. I'm going to remove that combatant. So, we're going to zoom in here a little bit so the chat can see what's going on. So Arcos, you get your attack as this goblin starts to venture down the steps towards you, his eyes going wide the moment he sees Youngblood, Who, and Zankus, and he sort of starts looking backwards and forwards, his eyes darting from one to the next. And you see him, again, that look of fear, but like, I'm going to attack you, because if I don't, I'm going to get killed anyway. And he sort of just draws a weapon ready, and you strike.
Yes. No worries.
Which, again, will be at advantage because of the surprise attack. That hits. Does 7 damage, and your sneak attack will also be in effect here.
Need to remember to add that to the HUD later.
Yeah, you could either add it to your HUD or your hotbar. It'll work both ways.
Yeah.
You can drag it out. It should be on your HUD. It should be under use features, as a one of your use features, either as an action or a bonus action, perhaps.
Oh yeah, there it is. I found it. Free. It's under free.
So it did kill him. I don't know why it didn't turn him into a splat, but it definitely killed him. So I will make him invisible, but he is dead.
Yep.
So that is you. Who you get the next shot in the attack. There is this next one, while it's happening, moves forward another step, and once again sees you guys, and is like the wide-eyed look. He's not willing to die. He kind of says, "Oh my god," and goes to turn and run back into the room. So Who, you get to do your thing first.
Yeah, he's already targeted. I'm going to toll the dead him.
Toll the dead, no worries. You roll that. He gets to make a wisdom save, which will be a disadvantage at this point. He fails miserably, and he will take... Why is that adding them together? Okay, I'm gonna have to do some changes on that one. Because he's definitely not going to take 16 damage. Can I get you to roll a d8 for me just from the chat? I'll have to do some work with that and see if I can fix that. 6 damage. So he will take... He's not quite dead, but he's close. He is bloodied. He is not looking good. He is almost dead. So that's you who glue. Youngblood. It is your turn. So you can move forward into this creature if you wish. You could probably only need to move forward once to hit him with your whip. But make sure you alt-click and target him.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with a whip again. Same as the other guy. I'm gonna go for that neck. Either pull him or just kill him with it.
So you're gonna whip around the neck and try and snap his neck like you did last time. He's only on really low hit points. So all you gotta do is hit him and you'll kill him. And you definitely hit him. And you kill him.
You just rip his head off, basically. Just strangle him around the neck. Fucking
I would say, yeah. I mean, you probably don't rip his head off, but you definitely pull him forward. And you just hear that sickening snap as you yank. You can feel it down the whip, almost like a fishing line. You pull it forward, you can feel the next snap on the end of your whip, and you just sort of grunt and sort of stand there as you unfurl it and pull the whip back towards you.
What a nice feeling that is.
As that happens, Youngblood, whoever can see this guy, obviously seeing what's happening, he steps out to see what's going on, and is a rather large looking individual, and the wolf beside him. I'm just gonna roll for him. I'm gonna roll for the wolf. Why didn't I add him? Oh, it's there. Okay. I'll roll for those guys, add them to the initiative order. So they sort of step out, and you can see he's a tall, maybe 6 feet tall. He's a big dude, broad-shouldered, and he sort of looks out and stands up to his full height, smashes his fist on his chest, and just roars at you, which you can hear even over the sound of the waterfall as where you are, which is quite loud. It's like, "Roar!" And he just stands waiting for you guys to approach him. It doesn't seem to be making any advance on you at this point. So I'm going to do this. We're going to add our combat music back into this. We are going to advance back. Zankus, you would have been up next. So Zankus, as this guy moves forward and roars, I'll give you one attack, just an action, just a straight action at this point, as you guys he hasn't seen you before we get back to the top of the initiative and start again.
Alright, I won't do anything. I'll wait to the others go in. I'm squishy.
So you're gonna hear this and go, fuck that, I'm gonna hang back?
Yep.
Okay, so we will go back to the top of the initiative order. Arcos, you sort of peer around the corner and you see this large individual.
Yep. So Arcos looks at his daggers in his hands. He's like, you guys are just gonna tickle that dude. So he puts them back in, grabs his short sword out, and he just bolts at him.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and stab him in the gut.
Move forward, don't target yourself. Youngblood, can I get you to untarget the dead folk too? Just again, alt click. Cheers, buddy.
Alright.
I'll remove these goblins from now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you make your attack.
Ah, yuck.
You swing forward with your short sword, striking high, arcing down, and this dude just sort of looks down at you, and with his morning star, just parries it. You can see he's got a small buckler on his left arm. He just parries your shot with his morning star and looks down and he goes, "You gotta taste good."
Well, shit. Sorry, big fella, and I'm going to use my bonus action to rabbit hop back 10 feet. 10 feet,
and does that
Yep.
get an attack opportunity? Awesome.
Nah, it negates it. So
I mean, I know you've got disengage as a bonus action as well, so
rolly that.
okay, so you're gonna rabbit hop.
Yep, it lets me jump back 10, which is there.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna dart back around the corner because I'm not stupid.
Not a problem. Who? It is now your turn.
I was having a look at what I had there. Hang on.
No, you're good.
So Arcos is out of the way now.
Yes, he is. You guys can always move around each other, so don't worry about too much whether someone's in the way.
All right. So I'm gonna use one of my spells.
Okay, spell away.
Yeah. Guiding bolt.
Okay. Oh, this is a good one. If it hits, it's a good one. It does. It hits him. He takes 14 damage from the guiding bolt, and he is now marked as well. So the next attacker will get advantage because of the guiding bolt. Your radiant energy, you summon the energy from within you, from your patron or your deity, whoever you have chosen to align yourself with. You bring your hands together and you create this ball of radiant energy and you release it. It strikes this individual right in the chest and it reels him back half a step, and he sort of looks up. You can see blood coming from the side of his mouth. You can see blood even trickling from one of his eyes as he takes this enormous amount of damage. He's looking rather bloodied, still standing. And that is your turn, is it not? You've got a bonus action. If you have a bonus action, you can do that. You've got movement if you still want to move, or you can just pass off to the next player.
No, I'm going to stay where I am. Pass off to the next player.
Okay, so Youngblood. We will take a break after this combat, guys. So Youngblood, is now your turn.
I want to run and just spear it.
Do you want to run it? So run it and move yourself into combat range.
I'm just going to run in and spear it.
So you're going to stab him with your spear. So target him, alt
I'm
click.
going to hit him with like a spear, like the Roman Reigns spear.
Oh, running spear. So you want to basically tackle him.
Yeah.
So this would be an athletics versus athletics. I can do this. Give me 1 second here. I will add. Here we go. We're going to do athletics contested roll. 1 second. I've got to find this thing here. Here it is. Public roll. So we've got a contested roll there. Both normal. The bugbear, or 14 versus an 11. Unfortunately, you charge forward and you throw yourself into him, and he catches you almost in the guillotine as he stops you and plants his foot behind him, gets into a triangle stance, and just you move him back 2 or 3 inches, sliding on the gravel, and you sort of hear him go, "This is going to be fun." So you are unable to achieve what you were trying. Nice go though. That would be your action. Do you have a bonus action? You can unarm attack him as a bonus action. So you can hit him with an unarmed strike if you wish. So you would have to target him and then just hit him with the unarmed.
Where's that? I've got hidden step and second wind in my bonus part.
Just under your weapons. So just target him with an alt click, and under your weapons you'll see the fist, which is unarmed strike.
No, yep.
Nice. Shouldn't have rolled with advantage, but it's only 4 damage. We'll let it go. So just remember, don't alt click on. Yeah, it's all good. Would have double clicked with the alt. It's all good. 4 damage will stand. Not a huge, but as you sort of release from the attempted tackle, you look up at him, and as he says that to you, you just go crack right in the ribs with your left hand, and you swear you hear a rib crack. That is your turn. Next up,
he would have had advantage because the guiding bolt.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot. So my bad. Automatically advantage guiding bolt, which makes it fair. I forgot about that, and that was my bad. Anywho, it is now Ripper's turn. As Youngblood, you charge in. This wolf growls and lurches forward at you as you are attacking his master. He looks at you, growls, and then sinks his teeth into your leg. And will do. He misses you, unfortunately. Misses you by 1, striking nothing but the armor that you wear. Tries to sink his teeth in. He will get. Yes, you will need to make a strength save for me. So on the spell there, just highlight your token on the map. So you don't need to target it, just click it so that it's highlighted. So don't target it. So alt click yourself again, take the target away, and just click once on your thing so it's highlighted in yellow, and then in the chat click the saving throw DC 11 strength on that Ripper's attack. Actually no, you won't, sorry, because he missed. Never mind, he missed, so you won't need to do it.
I couldn't find it anyway.
So what do you, oh no, you won't see it on there because it was I did that and didn't do that. So you would normally see that, and you would normally see the saving throw button there. So if you'd hit, you would have to make that save. So we do not have to worry about that.
Cool.
Zankus, you're up.
Moving into line, I was going to be all fancy, but it turns out I can't use it anyway, so we'll just go with the crossbow.
No worries. So you might have to move yourself into a slightly better position. You got Youngblood standing right in front of him. crossbow shot from there could be a little dangerous if you rolled low. Or do you care? Is more the question.
Does that answer your question?
Apparently not. A 14 misses. The arrow streaks past you, Youngblood, narrowly missing your ear, and seems that this individual sees it coming, raises a shield, and it just in the front of his wooden shield, thunk. And it is a miss. Do you have a bonus action?
Yeah, but nothing that'll be of help.
No worries.
So,
It is now this guy's turn. You're right there, Youngblood. You're right in his face. So he will attack you with his Morningstar. Rolls low, misses Youngblood, unfortunately. So you're lucky there, Youngblood. He does get... Where is it? No, he does not. Only gets the one attack. He's not going to move. He's going to stand fast and retain his position. Arcos, is now your turn.
Alright, so Arcos is going to run in, and I'm going to do it slowly to make sure I've got enough movement.
Yep, no worries. You do what you need to do. And you burn your ass on the fire.
Yeah, I was trying to get around the back.
You'd be small enough to fit between the fire and the bugbear. Just the size of the token. So I would put you in, if you were beside him. If you can get behind him, sure, no dramas. I think you can anyway.
Yeah.
I think you got enough movement to skirt around him, which will give you advantage on the attack as you are flanking with your new companion, which will also give you sneak attack.
Hey.
So roll at advantage, good sir. Do not forget to target your foe.
Ooh, it adjusted his stance too.
It will do. Short sword swings away. Hits. There's 8 points of damage. And now the sneak attack. We roll our sneak attack. And let's see what else we get here. Another 4 points of damage. And describe the demise of this large furry creature that probably none of you have probably seen before.
So I give Xanxus a side look for his shitty shot, and I bolt past him, keep my tail from the fire, and slide in behind him, and get the short sword, and sort of go up where the base of his loincloth or whatever he's wearing would be, and sort of just go in up the spine, like through the back.
So you're trying to slash him in the butt.
Trying to slash him in the butt. I'm trying to give him a second asshole.
Clack a shot.
Yeah.
Indeed, as you do, you raise your short sword, because you're not very tall, so he's a lot taller than you, so it kind of makes sense that you strike him in the base of the spine, right on that tailbone area, and you hit the spine and then drive your sword upwards, splitting his back open at the spine. And when you hit a rib, slides off to the right hand side, hit a rib, and then just buries 2 or 3 inches into his lower back.
Yeah.
And he just and drops, almost falling on you as he drops backwards.
Ugh.
At this point, before the end of your turn, the wolf, seeing his master drop, turns towards you and just charges into you, making an attack on you, as he is now really upset that you just killed his master.
Aww.
Very, very loyal animal. He will get advantage on this attack. I forgot to roll it with advantage, but I will roll it again just in case, because of his frenzy of seeing his master die.
Yeah, I wish I did stop doing that.
Oh, there you go. So we finally got some damage. So you got 10 damage. You'll need to make a strength save.
I'm out at 10 damage.
You're out at 10 damage? Okay. So that...
Just imagining this wolf with me hanging out of its mouth.
Can I interception that?
Can you what, sorry?
Interception it with my fighting style.
Oh, you have intercept, don't you? There's a reaction. Let's have a look here. Reaction. Let's look at your features. Interception. As a reaction, when one creature you see hits another target within 5 feet of you, yes, roll a d10 plus 2. So just roll a d10, we'll add 2 to it.
Can I roll it from the picture or not?
Yeah, try it. If it doesn't roll, we can roll it from... Yeah, it does. There you go. So you reduce that damage by 3. So you only take 7 damage, Arcos. Does that put you out?
No, I'm still up.
Okay.
Because 10's my HP, so...
Okay, so I will just remove... God, when this thing actually works... 7 damage from your thing. You are very bloody. That was its one and only attack on that, so it's not its turn. So that was your turn. Who? You're up. Youngblood, you're on board. Nice reaction, JJ. Well done.
Seeing this happen to my little rabbit mate over there, I'm going to toll her the dead this for the mucker.
Go for it. He will take the higher damage, which is 3. It's not. I'm gonna have to change that in the thing. So it takes 1d12 if it has taken damage. He takes 3 damage. Not 6 damage, but it's still up. It has taken some damage though. So is that your turn?
I don't have a bonus action, but I want to close the gap. I'm going to move up to here.
Let's see if I can... Oh, I know what I can do here. I know how I can do this. Control C that. Remove that one. And we'll do it there. See what that does. Right, so you're going to move up to there. No worries. That's your turn.
Is it possible to throw, I think I've still got a potion, a healing potion there. Where are we? Inventory.
Yeah, healing potion for yourself is a bonus action. To give it to someone else will be an action. You've used your action already.
That's an action?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's it then. That's all I can
Okay.
really do.
No worries, Youngblood. It's now your turn. The wolf's right in front of you. You've just seen him munch down on Arcos. You've managed to... You gave it a bit of a kick as it went after Arcos, reducing the damage. Now it's your turn.
I want to pick the wolf up and just try to break its back over my knee.
No worries. We'll just get you to roll. So you literally want to try and pick it up?
Yep.
Because that'll be another strength check.
Like a backbreaker.
Okay, so that'll be another athletics check. Give me a second. We're going to be another contested athletics.
I'm just like really angry as pick him up, fucking bang.
No worries. So the wolf will make his roll with a 10. So Youngblood, all you gotta do is beat a 10.
Yes.
14 as you pick it up and you grab it, you're angry, and you flip it over and bring it down across your back. I will get you to roll for me a D8, please. Just in the chat. At the bottom of the chat, you'll find the D8. Roll the D8. 6 points of damage. As you hear the spine crack. It is not dead, but it is not looking healthy. But I will also say that you have it grappled at this point. So what that'll mean for the next person attacking it, we should see that someone should get now speed's now reduced to 0. So we should get some advantages done here as well, maybe. So the next person attacking it might get an advantage. I can't remember. But anyhow, it is now grappled by you. It cannot go anywhere.
We'll end my turn there.
End your turn there. It is now its turn. It can still attack you, as you got it in its hands, but I'm going to give it a disadvantage because it's trying to wriggle and bite you. So we're going to roll disadvantage here, and I believe that will definitely miss. So it is unable to bite you as it's thrashing about in your arms. That is its turn. Zankus, it is now your turn. You're seeing all this go, sort of transpire as you're standing back, trying to hang back. Youngblood, you've got an inspiration, so you get to add a D10 to a roll of your choice tonight.
What to do? Kill the dog, save a friend. Nope, I don't want that one. I want that one. So moving there and using. Hang on. Give me your attack. No, don't. No, hang on. That to do that.
Yes.
So I can do.
So you're going to healing hands, giving 1 hit point. So Arcos, Zankus appears from behind the rest of the group and puts a hand on your shoulder, and you feel a really warm sensation come over, and one of your wounds starts to slowly knit. Not a huge amount of healing, but it definitely feels a little better than you were before. Youngblood also has another D10 inspiration, I believe. No, just the one. I was reading it twice. So that is you, Trash Man. Zankus, that's you. Arcos, back to the top. Oh, did you just target yourself? No. I think I targeted you by accident.
So Arcus would just give a look of recognition to Xanxus, like feeling that sort of stitching of the wound. He's felt that before, and he knows that that's where it's come from. And he sort of just tries to like get up the side of Youngblood, and he looks at the wolf sort of trying to snap and bite at Youngblood. He's like, "I'm sorry, boy," and he grabs his sword and he tries to slit its throat.
I will give you you should have advantage, I think, because of grapple, but roll with advantage anyway. So alt roll the attack.
Oh,
okay.
It didn't
roll. You got it anyway, and it's dead.
So so it's sort of like a slow draw across the neck to try and end it now.
Which it does so. You draw your short sword across the throat of this wolf as it's struggling in Youngblood's arms. Youngblood, you feel the life leave this animal as his blood drains pretty much all over you and all over the ground in front of you. And the slowly stops kicking and moving, and then that last breath sort of leaves the animal as you release it, and it slumps to the ground. And that is the end of our combat. And give you some more XP. And we're going to turn off our combat music here. Oh, look. Why only 2 of you fucking leveled up? You should all have a chance to level up. I'll fix that.
Is everyone clicking the ad when it comes up? Because I think you have to click add to make it work.
So, did all of you click to add XP?
Add as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
so whenever that comes up, just click add XP.
Yeah, should be able to scroll back up to the other one if you didn't do it earlier.
Yeah, I didn't do the other one either.
Yeah. Because I'm at 310.
So everyone should be at 310. I can fix it later. So again, with the levels, guys, we're going to do it on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, you'll have to fix
yeah, I'll fix yours. No dramas. So when you go, but we're going to go to a break before we carry on anyway. So for leveling up, for all intents and purposes, we'll hold the level up in Foundry for now. what I'll get you guys to do at the end of the show, before the next show, I'll get you to level up in D&D Beyond. If you need a hand, let me know, and I'll help you through the process. But just go and set your level to the next level in D&D Beyond, add your spells, roll your HP and all that sort of stuff, and then let me know you've done it, and then I will transfer that information into Foundry. Foundry's a little bit finicky for leveling up on that side of things, especially for spells more than anything else. But I will be able to set your levels in Foundry and add the spells that you've selected in D&D Beyond specifically. So we'll do all those levels in D&D Beyond, and then I'll sort that out after. But we're going to have a break, chat, because we've been going pretty good. It's 9:45. We're going to take a break. I know Nutty wants coffee. So 310 was the XP, Grim?
Yep, 310. So
Okay.
just over the level 1 to the level 2, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So I'll set yours to that.
Status meter.
You're set to 310. You're set to 310. Everyone's set to 310. Awesome. Yeah. So whenever I do add XP in the future, just add when it pops up. Click Add XP, and that way we can move. It's not a big deal because I can fix it after the fact. And when we do our level up, we'll do it, and we'll probably do a little bit of RP level once we get back to Phandelver maybe, because for all intents and purposes, this is now a completed area. There is a little bit of loot to be had, if you find it, of course. We'll have to do that when we get back. But we're going to take a short break, ladies and germs. We'll be right back. See you soon. And we're back. So, our combat has completed, ladies and germs, and you all, Arcos looking a little worse for wear, has taken a fair amount of damage. He's got a couple of large nasty wounds after being ragdolled by this large wolf. And as you look around this room, you notice several crates and barrels, sacks of gear, and a couple of the crates themselves, or a few of the crates in fact, two of them are stamped with a stamp that, and with a name you guys recognize. Barthen's Provisions is stamped on a couple of the crates. So I will get you guys to roll for this. In fact, let's see how perceptive you guys are. One second. I mean, you all know Barthen's Provisions. That's not what we're rolling for here. This is to see if you can put 2 and 2 together based on the note that you had. The roll, the DC's not high. Higher than that though. Oh my god, guys. So who? I mean, the rest, I mean, Arcos is pretty beat up, so that's probably why he didn't really put this together. Xankus, you probably just don't care. Youngblood, I'd say Youngblood, maybe, being a furbolg, you might be a little preoccupied with the death of this wolf, even though you had intended on killing it as well, and it had attacked someone that is not really a friend, but someone you've just met. Now with the wolf lying dead in front of you, it's kind of sad. I mean, it's not the wolf's fault. After all, it's master. You can see that it was protecting its master, but maybe it's a little sad for you. It's probably why you're not really noticing this. But who? Your mind casts back to this note. These supplies must be from Phandelver. They've got to be. These goblins have obviously been ambushing travelers along the Treebor Trail for some time and have stolen these items. And there's quite a fair bit here. So you can't carry it. Like, it's items that are too much to carry. You'd have to put them on a cart to take them back to Phandelver. Not unlike the supplies you guys have.
Pull out the scroll and just point it out to the others where it says about the supplies and what it's got on the boxes. So we might want to let them know when we get into Phandelver that the stuff's here.
Or we could see if we get the... What? Okay.
Well, I'm assuming you guys are going to look through the stuff as well. So I'll get you to make an investigation check.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Who were the two? He's not keen on looking through the stuff, but
no.
There's some pretty good rolls.
They can come and get it themselves.
As you go through the items, like you sort of look through and you open a crate, and it's definitely supplies. There's mining supplies. Looks like there's some. There's no rations or anything like that. It all looks like it's mining type supplies, or even some adventurers' gears. Like there's a couple of brand new packs, things like that, things of that nature. The one thing you do spy, however, is over here. There's a small chest, which stands out from the rest as not being just a general chest. It's kind of hidden behind some of the crates and things like that. So you guys should actually be able to go over and click on that chest, by the way, with your get a door.
I'm gonna go over to Bugs and give him my potion of light healing.
So let me know if you double click it. Can you see that?
Yeah. Yep.
So you can see the inventory.
Yep.
Of that.
So
awesome.
just quick. I'll take that. I'll take that. Come on, take that.
No. You'll put that shit back.
But I'm fine. How do I put it back?
Right. For future reference, we won't be taking anything from loot chests until we've had a discussion with the party on how things are dealt with. Okay.
All right.
I mean, I'll give the health.
I will remove these from your inventory. I will pop them back in there. 1 second. So yeah, just hold up on removing stuff just in case things might happen, is what I'm saying, Trash.
It was Jade Frog.
Yes, the Jade Frog. I will find that. Where the fuck is the Jade Frog?
I don't know. It was there.
Check his back pocket.
I got the potion of healing. Where'd the fucking frog go?
I don't know.
What'd you do with my frog, Trash?
I have no idea. It's not in my list.
No, it's not. That's weird. I'll have to put that back in. Oh, I know why.
Yeah, but he said, yeah.
I will leave the Jade Frog for now, but I'll add it to the gold cost.
Why, what'd you do?
No, it was you, but it was just how I set it up.
Oh, I converted it to gold cost, did it?
No.
No?
No. What it's done is, because I created it out of another item, it's just made it disappear, because the item, I hadn't actually created the Jade Frog per se as an item, which I should have. I duplicated another item, so that's cool. That's the sort of stuff I need to figure out. Anywho, so that's all good. But what we'll do is there is definitely a Jade Frog in there. So for those that did see it, so all of Zankus, Arcos, and Youngblood would have noticed the chest. Who not so much. So all three of you would have been able to discuss the chest before Zankus goes and gets all sticky fingers. Just de-target that chest too. I don't think you need to target it to open it. I think you just double click on it. So it even tells people what you stole.
I know. It's bad.
It's weird that it didn't put that in your inventory. Even the jade that I duplicated it from is not there. Unless it's gone into extras. Let's have a look. But either way, you guys find this chest. You notice that it's not locked. And why has it still got those in there? I deleted those.
Deleted what?
Thank you. It still had the potions in there, which it shouldn't have.
I had 2 potions.
Yes, you still do have 2 potions.
No, it's saying I've got 1.
Yes, but you have 2, and I will fix it. But you, there are 2 in that chest, not 1, by the way.
Okay.
Right, that's fixed. So I'll let you discuss the chest.
This is fun.
Fuck off, Trash.
All right. So, yeah. It looks like there's... Oh, I actually can... Come on. Get
Stop
back
standing on the chest.
Right. So, we got that. Don't want that anymore. All right, so... Shut up. So there's a jade frog in there that nobody can see. There's...
Well, I've converted the jade frog into a 40 gold value, so we removed the jade frog and we've added the gold value.
Okay. Stolen supplies. Don't know what's in the supplies. Just supplies, I guess.
Yeah, that's the stolen supplies in the room. I've just added in the chest to remind me that it's there. So yeah, so in the chest is the stolen. In the chest is the gold and the potions, or gold and silver and the potions.
And copper.
Right.
I think Bugs needs a bit of health. I don't know about everybody else, but I need a bit of health myself.
Do we know what time of day it's? Morning or?
You got to the ambush site about, I want to say, just early afternoon. It was sort of around lunchtime, early afternoon. So by the time you've travelled to here and the time you've spent in here, you could guess that it's maybe mid to late afternoon. You're not entirely sure.
All right, then. With that guessing, I'm going to suggest we set up camp here.
Yeah, I could do with a bit of kip, but I'm gonna. Then he sort of thanks Youngblood, who's trying to give him a potion. He's like, I got it. And he's, just in case something comes in the cave, I'm on it. And he drinks the last light healing potion he has.
Okay, so Zankus does let you guys know that in this chest is a number of coins, some silver, some copper, some gold, and a couple of small healing potions, it seems. So no explode on that healing, but you get a pretty good heal anyway. So 6 healing damage
back
to
up
you.
to full.
Nice.
I'll use mod potion myself.
So you're going to use yours on yourself as well. Make sure you have your token highlighted when you do that, but I can put it on you anyway, so it's good. No, you're good. I can add it to you.
You know, guys, if we rest here for the night, you won't have to use all your potions, right?
Yeah, but if something crept in here in the night and decided they didn't like the look of you, and I was half dead, you'd be fully dead.
And being the biggest guy, I thought I should be full, just in case.
Anyway, I take it that's about all we find then, Mr. DM.
That is all you find, indeed.
What did the big guy have on him?
The big guy had on him, and I move.
He has a dead wolf on him.
He's got a dead wolf on top of him at the moment. But he was carrying a morning star, just a mundane morning star, which I would say Zankus would be way too heavy for you to carry. Has a small rough buckler, sort of a rough buckler shield, and he does have, in like a strapping on his back, a couple of javelins, just a couple of standard javelins, and that was about it.
I walk over the body, look it over, kick it once.
I mean, you can decide, try and determine whether you know what he is or not, because none of you guys have seen a creature like this before. I would say the only one that may be Arcos in his travels, because he has travelled extensively.
Given my attitude on that, I don't really care.
Okay, cool. So, as far as the chest is concerned, obviously you guys are going to loot it. You have two light healing potions to divvy up. I believe, Trash, if you click on the little boxes there, I think it says loot stack. I think it will separate them. Does that separate them?
No. Loot stack. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, loot stack.
So does it separate them?
No, it just gives it to me.
Okay, I'll have to look into that. I'm not sure how it works.
So we do have split currency, which splits 4 ways.
Yes, it does. So you can, if you click that now, Trash, that should take the currency and split it between all of you.
It surely did. I watched it happen live.
There you go. So
awesome.
You all receive 10 gold, 25 silver, and 150 copper from this chest. What I'll do, Zankus, is we'll hold those potions in your inventory for now.
Yep.
If you wish to hand them out to other players, let me know and we'll organise that.
I was
Otherwise,
go- I was
you can
go-
just
I
use
was
them
gonna
on
do
other
that
players.
anyway.
Yeah. I don't know if we can separate those ones. Like I said, this is a bit of a test. Looking at your inventory, yes, it's given you the 2 potions of healing there, so we should be able to separate them out.
Yeah.
But I can drag them again. You guys have access to the shared items folder in the compendium as well. So for things like this, if you are sharing stuff around, you can delete it from your inventory and someone else can add it from the shared items in the compendium just by searching it. Or you just ask me to do it and I can do it because I can do it pretty quickly. So, but for all intents and purposes, for the moment, hang on to those potions, Zankus, and we'll sort that out later. Arcos, you might want to step off the fire before you burn your bunny butt.
Yeah. Getting a bit toasty.
It is kind of warm. So, you've discovered that this band of goblins has potentially been raiding the Treeball Road and stealing supplies heading to and from Phandelver, judging by the crates and barrels and sacks of gear that are here. You know that you guys still have a pile of supplies that you've hidden that need to be taken to Phandelver. You know where this cave is located. You've got an option here, obviously. You can either pack up and try and transport these supplies yourselves back to Phandelver to maybe get a reward. Zankus and Arcos would probably definitely incline to bring up that, because especially you, Arcos, because of your background, you know that supplies are worth money. And to the right person, they're worth a decent amount of gold. Returning someone's belongings, reward is usually given or demanded, depending on how you approach it. Zankus, you would be much the same inclination. You also know that even maybe relinquishing the location of said items may warrant a reward as well. So you do not have to actually travel with them if you do not wish. I would say you're all relatively intelligent, or at least half the group is intelligent enough to make that that idea. So you've decided to rest here for the evening. I take it. Are we going to organise a watch cycle? As you do know that up this very steep incline here, as you sort of look around, you can see the smoke trailing from the campfire and leading up this sort of very narrow but very steep vent, it seems. You can hear the wolves snuffling about and the chains dragging and the howling occasions. So you know that those wolves that are chained up are still up there. They're no threat to you, obviously, because they are chained. You don't know how many other goblins may be out and about that may return.
Well, I'd probably get someone to throw a carcass or 2 up to the wolves up there, feed them.
Let's look at your intelligence, Zankus. Let's see.
I have a pretty good intelligence.
You got pretty good intelligence. I think you'd be. I think most of your intelligence is pretty good. Youngblood's a little low, but
probably use the wolves as an early warning system, which is what I think they would have been used for in the first place.
Possibly, and I would say that you guys have definitely determined that feeding them upon entry into the cave probably saved you a whole range of different ambush attacks as you came into this place. So I would say with your intelligence, I'd say it'd be easy enough to determine that that's pretty much what they were there for. So I'll leave you to discuss amongst yourselves what you are going to do right now.
Arcus will have a closer look at the supplies out of interest for his own purposes to see if anything there looks familiar, and then decide whether we load it up and take it with us. Or...
So are you looking for anything in particular?
Yeah, maybe some markings that might be familiar, whether it's supplies he might have seen before or whether it's unrelated.
Okay. So obviously the ones with Barson's Provisions, the Barson's Provisions name stands out to you guys. You can see that they obviously other supplies meant for their general mining supplies definitely catch your eye. I will get you, however, to roll Arcos because you're looking for something specific. I'll get you to roll investigation. For me, pretty good, 15. As you sort of poke around the sacks and crates, you find one crate that kind of catches your eye. Same style of crate that would have been found aboard your ship. Your captain was very specific in the types of cargo that he carried, and some of the later cargo was for a very specific individual, and this crate looks almost identical in a lot of ways to the later cargoes that you were transporting. You pry open the top, and inside you find, again, more like mining supplies, but these mining supplies are different. They're much better made, a lot better made than just the general mining supplies and amongst the Phandelver stuff. This stuff is very specific, a very specific type of pick, a very specific type of hammer and chisel, and you do find in there a small portion of a parchment paper. Looks like it's been torn. Maybe it got caught and it got torn. And as you pick it up and have a look at it, the marking's unmistakable. Even if it's only half of it, it's that same black spider that you've seen on other occasions.
Yeah.
And you know, even without digging further into this crate of supplies, you know exactly what this crate was, where it was, or who it was destined for. Not exactly where it was destined, but definitely in your mind, you're on the right trail.
Yeah. He sort of points at it with his sword like, we should probably take all of this, but this is coming with us.
Youngblood will pick up 2 goblins, throw them over each shoulder, and walk up to the wolves and feed them.
Easily enough done. You'd have to go around the long way because you can't get up that steep and like it's almost vertical. You can probably climb it, but not with 2 goblins over your shoulders. But you're fairly confident that you've cleared out this area, this cave of goblins, and you walk around back past the waterfall, down the creek line, and you dump these goblin bodies in with the wolves, and they hungrily hoe into these new corpses, and you can tell just by looking at these wolves up here that they've been starved. Like, they've definitely been starved on purpose to keep them mean and to keep them hungry. So they are gorging themselves on these bodies, as it looks like they probably haven't been fed for a very, very long time. You eventually return back to the camp, this room, this encampment, and prepare yourselves for a night spent in a strange cave, it seems. I don't know how much sleep you're going to get with this waterfall and right in the next room.
So who wants to do what watches? We definitely do watch here. Don't know what's around is.
Oh, who's taking first watch?
No, I'm taking last watch.
I'll take the first watch.
So Arcos volunteers for first.
I'm happy to do second.
I'll do
second, and Sanka's third, and who is last? And I mean, who is last? So with that, for expediency of story, we'll shift forward a little bit. So you guys pack up the supplies that you know have been stolen, and you put them in a particular area pile, ready them to either be transported either by yourself or via someone else as you let people know that this is here. Arcos makes particular mention to a single crate that he wishes that you guys take with you. It's not a big crate, easily carried by either Youngblood on his own, I would say, or by between two of you. Would be easily carried back to your own wagon and supplies if you were to go back to that. It's not huge, but it does have a very particular set of tools and bits and pieces inside, which Arcos seems very, very interested in. As Arcos, do you allow them to look into this crate, or do you reseal it and just tell them that it's coming with you? How do you approach this with them?
At this point, Arcos would reseal it.
Okay, so you reseal the crate. So we might need a bit of RP here, I think.
Just gonna secure this load, alright?
What's in it?
Don't ask questions.
Special.
No questions, just... We're taking it, right?
Well, if you want my help,
You're gonna have to trust me on this. I'll carry it myself, I don't care.
I'm sorry, but now that you've gone and said that, what's in the crate?
I said, it's none of your damn business. Do we have an understanding?
I've just leant back on the side of the cave and I'm just watching it.
Nice.
Just,
Yeah, look, Bugs, I trust you.
it doesn't
I'll let you
concern
keep
me,
your
this
secrets.
box.
If that crate gets us in trouble, you're dead.
No. It's possible it'll get me dead anyway. But it's fine. And Arcos will sort of walk out and start making sure there's nothing else hanging about, since he's going to take the first watch.
No worries. So the rest of you sort of gather around the fire to try and keep as warm as possible. I mean, and amongst these supplies, these bed rolls and stuff, so you got enough things to keep you comfortable for the evening. Arcos, you still keep an eye on the crate as you sort of mill around, making sure no one's tampering with it, looking at it, kind of watching over some of the other things, looking over some of the other things just in case something else sort of catches your eye. Do you move? Obviously, two of the goblins have been moved out and fed to the wolves. So this creature, this large creature, where do you put his body? You just leave it where it is, or do you move it out of the room? Same with the wolf. Where do you put those bodies before we move forward? And who does what? Well, I don't want to know what you do with the bodies, but no kink shame, obviously. But where do you move the bodies to? Because you don't want to stink. You don't want to sleep with a corpse. Well, unless that's your thing, I guess.
We just drag him out next to the on top of the walkway here, outside the cave.
Oh, outside the cave, no worries.
Entrance. Yeah, just outside the
So you drag them outside. So I'll remove them off the map just so we don't have these blood splats everywhere. Do we have another blood splat under you? Yep. Here we go. Move you back there. So you move the bodies out. Arcos, as you're milling around, you probably do walk out there on occasion just to make sure nothing's coming, because you know the waterfall will mask any movement in that area. So you do go out there and check every now and again. I would expect. With your background, I would expect nothing less. Do you get curious about this individual, this large individual, at all, knowing your reason for being here?
Yeah, I think you would sort of wonder whether he was in charge or whether he's just another step in a much larger rung.
So you pay particular attention to his body, you turn him over, you look around the neck area, as you've seen many of these goblins have had that marking of the black spider. You do not find one on this individual's neck. You can only assume that this must be Klarg, being who it is. You know it's a bugbear. You've seen a few in your travels. Other ships that you've encountered have been crewed by all manner of creatures. Bugbears and half-orcs, full-orcs, all manner of different races and creeds. But as you turn him over, and his body sort of flops to one side, and you see like he's wearing like almost like a partial leather breastplate, and it sits to one side, and you can see again that black spider symbol. This time it's not on his neck, it's not tattooed on his neck or carved. This one's not a tattoo either. This is more of a scarring in the shape of a spider, but it's been almost like covered in soot, almost like it's almost like he's done it himself. Almost the way the angles look almost self-inflicted. But very much you can see he was obviously a part of this group, the same group that the goblins seem to be a part of as well, which is a symbol you definitely recognize. Searching him further, you do find a small piece of parchment in a pouch, or in a small section hidden in his belt. You're not unusual. You're not unfamiliar with these types of behaviors, hiding things on your person, smuggling, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's in common. The penmanship is actually quite nice. It's quite well written, and it just simply says, "Continue with your work, Klarg. The supplies shall aid our inquiries and our workings within the mine. When you have him, bring him to me directly. Do not tally. Kill anyone else involved." And it's just, again, no signature, just that. This time not a drawn, but a wax stamp of a spider.
Ballsy sons of bitches, aren't ya? It's fucking tattoos and fucking spiders everywhere, waving them around like you. And he sort of just fucking kicks him, and pockets the note, and then sort of wanders up a bit further to see if there's anyone else in the cave.
I'll get you to roll a perception check for me.
Oof.
As far as you're aware, there's no one else left in this cave, and as you're wandering around, I would say that you're probably preoccupied with this note. Again, the reason you're here comes to the forefront of your mind. Probably, I would say, more than definitely raising your blood pressure just a touch. You become not so much anxious, but just irritated that the brashness of these individuals. You know that they were well connected to the information you previously had, but maybe it runs a little deeper than even you thought, perhaps. But then your mind turns back to what they did, and that just angers you. And the remainder of your watch goes without incident. So you return to the room with the fire. You've probably guys have broken up a crate or two because there wasn't much firewood here, and to throw on the fire to keep it lit for the night. And you wake, I believe, Youngblood.
Youngblood. Yeah. So I sort of wave my hand over his face to see if he wakes up easy, and then if not, sort of like tap him on the side of the face. Hey.
Yeah,
Time.
I'm awake. What's up,
Yeah.
Bugs? Anything?
No, No, it's pretty quiet, except for the water.
Yeah, it's starting to annoy me, eh? Should
Yeah,
have found somewhere else.
Stoke the
Yeah.
fire a bit. Should stay up for a while. I'm gonna sleep over here, and he sort of points out next to the water, and he's gonna sort of not where the bodies are stat because
Yeah.
that's a bit morbid. But sort of just near enough the water, like it's just comfortable for him, and it's been a long time since.
No worries. So even though it's a waterfall sound, just the sound of the water is comforting. Being close to water is comforting for you, regardless of whether it's fresh or salt. But just that there's something about it which definitely holds something for you. Youngblood, you watch as Arcos moves out towards the water and eventually sort of curls up and seems to find some sort of rest. What are you going to do?
I will stoke the fire like you told me, and after hearing the conversation where he thinks his chest is dangerous, he's gonna go try have a look at this thing that Bugs is so interested in.
Are you going to try and have a look at the crate?
Yeah, while he's going and asleep.
No worries. So, where did you leave the crate, Arcos? Was it in the same room with them? You sort of put it to one side.
Yeah, he's moved it to one side. It'd be pretty obvious he's not sort of trying to be tricky about it.
So again, Youngblood, no need for a strength check for Yuri. You're strong enough to pry open with a dagger, or there's plenty of tools in this bundle of equipment that you're easily able to pry open this crate and have a look inside. And when you have a look inside, as I said, you find more tools. You pick some hammers and chisels and things. I will need you, sir, because I don't know how much you know about such things, to roll for me. I'll get you to roll an intelligence check for me, please. Wow. Clearly you are intelligent at this moment, at least. Anyway, so as you're looking through it, you can tell these are pretty top quality tools. Maybe in your time around Neverwinter, fencing stolen goods as you often did to survive, you've learned a thing or two about the value of things. And these tools are much finer than the average tools that an average miner would use. You know that they would last a lot longer and would not break or dull as easily as other types of metal. The metal seems to be different than just your average iron tool. Nothing else in there really sort of strikes you as interesting. Apart from that, so with it, I mean, it would be up to you how you react to that with Arcos later if you want to bring it up to him, but you probably don't really understand why he's so protective of it, or why he was not willing to tell you what was in it.
I'll close it back up, try to hide as much as possible that I've been in there, then go for a walk and check around.
No worries. So I will also get you to roll a perception check for me. 16 again. Well done. So again, nothing stands out. The waterfall is annoying. It was hard to get to sleep when you went to sleep, but you finally got to sleep, but now you're awake and moving around. It's more annoying. It's just constant. You don't understand how these guys have managed to stand here and not have this drive everyone batshit crazy, but it's really grating on you, 100%. But you know you're here to do a job. You know you're going to get paid when you get to Phandelver, especially now that you've rescued Sildar Hallwinter. You know that you've got at least 10 gold coming, and that for you is a lot of gold. You've just found some gold here too. It's like, wow, this jackpot. You just free gold, and then you're going to get gold for doing this. Awesome times. You know you're going to have you're probably going to be able to have a party with your mates when you get back to Neverwinter at the end of all this. Maybe these new friends might join you and drinking and maybe visiting the local whorehouse where you've probably frequented more often than not. But fun times ahead, perhaps. That's if you can break Zankus. He keeps playing on your mind. This blue guy, what's his deal? Why is he such an asshole? Why is it so hard for him to be friendly, at least? But he fights reasonably good. He's obviously magical. Like, you can tell he uses magic.
Yeah.
And he killed those goblins in that first cave real well. Like, it was brutal. Like, it was bloody and lightning everywhere. It was super cool. So why is he so much of a prick? That's sort of playing on your mind over and over again. But I'll get to him, you think. I'll get to him. I'm gonna do it. The rest of your watch goes without incident, and you move back into the encampment area, where you now have to wake up Zankus, of all people, for his watch.
So I'll walk over, give him a tap. Your watch, mate.
Stretches, sits up, looks around. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Stoke the fire. It's still good. I didn't see anything. But, like, think we can be friends now? I'll tell you something. If we can be friends. Just between you and me.
What?
I can't tell you if you gotta tell me we're friends.
Why do you want to be friends with me for?
Because you interest me. You seem cool. You beat people up. You fucking kill people one shot. 3 people one go. You're interesting. I want to get to know you.
Go to sleep.
Fine. Did have something to tell you. Okay. I'll just walk off.
So
You're fine till I sleep.
Youngblood walks off, finds a place to curl up, and goes back to sleep. Zankus, what are you up to?
Walk around the area, see if I see anything or anything like that. Just keeping an eye out. And yes, I'll stoke the dead fire.
I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, you're definitely going to keep the fire going. Otherwise, you know it's going to get cold. I mean, even though it's kind of in midsummer, the nights are not super cold, but you're in a damp cave. There's water around. It's going to get cold in here if you let it go out. So, and you're not a stupid person. So, is there anything in particular you wish to do apart from just watching, making sure no one is going to intrude on your current position?
Just watch. Just watch and listen.
I'll get you to roll a perception check for me, please. You see nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I would say that Zankus is probably a little preoccupied with why the fuck does this guy want to be my fucking friend?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep, I'll agree with that.
What is his deal? Why is he so interested in being friends with everybody? Why is everyone like this? Why do people just want to be my fucking friend? I just want to be left alone, make some gold, we can go about my life and do my thing. Why the hell are these people doing this all the time? Why did I accept this fucking job? Oh, that's right, fucking gold. That
Yeah.
kind of thing. I think that's the attitude of Zankus. It's just he's happy he's been able to kill things because he definitely enjoys that. I get the impression that Zankus enjoys a bit of bloodshed, especially the use of lightning. Lightning, I'd say maybe lightning calms Zankus a little bit. Perhaps maybe that connection, that kind of power makes him feel, I don't know, in touch with something or someone perhaps. But yeah, super annoyed that Youngblood just keeps trying to make friends. It makes no sense. He doesn't know me. Why the fuck? And this plays through your mind for the next couple of hours, wandering around, and you don't really notice anything else. The sound of the waterfall pisses you off.
No, that's actually calming.
Okay, so that's not okay. So opposite. So I would say if with that, then you probably say fuck the watch and you go sit out where you can hear the waterfall a little bit more loudly, maybe on the steps for a bit, and then eventually you think, oh, maybe it's about that time. Sun must be coming up sometime soon. Go wake up Who for his watch.
Yep. Walk over to Who. Look down. Strange world we live in. And tap you on the shoulder.
Stretch my wings out. And then my turn, I gather.
Yep.
Jump up.
And I go back to where I was and lay down.
No worries. So Who, you are woken.
Sorry.
Very good. You are woken up. It is now your watch. You get the feeling that dawn is approaching. You've got a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours before dawn. Is there anything in particular you wish to do during your watch other than just keep an eye on things?
Yeah, not really. Not much at all. Just, yep. Walk over to Woods doorway and keep the fire going.
No worries. I will get you to roll a perception check also. 21. Who sees everything? You watch as Youngblood sleeps relatively peacefully. He sort of tosses and turns a little bit and mumbles under his breath, but seems to be sleeping relatively peacefully. You wander around and you sort of watch Xankus for a little bit. Quite a relatively peaceful sleeper, it seems. Doesn't move a lot in his sleep, doesn't really make much of a noise at all. Occasional sort of heavy breath or sigh almost, it seems, but not much from him. Arcos seems a little restless at times as you sort of walk out and towards the water. He seems to toss and turn every now and again, and on occasion you see his hand go to a dagger or a weapon, and then sort of grabs the hilt of the weapon and then relaxes. And this happens 2 or 3 times while you're watching him. Maybe he's dreaming, who knows, but he seems restless. But your watch generally goes without any kind of incident. You do hear the wolves get a little restless at one point, and you go and have a look. You go sort of towards the entrance, have a look, and nothing seems to stand out. And the remainder of your watch goes without incident. The sun starts to rise. You sort of head towards the front of the cave. You see the sun start to rise at the front of the cave. You know that a new day is starting. You head back into the rear of the cave and wake your companions, ready for a new day. So I'll turn over to you as the new day starts.
Yeah, fuck that water fighter. Shit ass sleep.
No.
I've already got the coffee kicking.
Yep, no worries. There's plenty of supplies here to choose from. These,
Thanks, Who.
definitely, indeed.
Yeah, definitely gonna need a cup of that.
How do we reset all
So to go for a long rest, so in your sheet under your character portrait you'll see the picture of the bed. Hover over that, you'll see 2 hourglasses. The one that has almost like a half hourglass, the one on the far right, will be your long rest.
Got it, thank you.
No worries. So I'll get everyone to take a long rest. If you can't do it, let me know. I will do it for you.
Bitch. Rest.
Yep, there we go. Everyone's taking a long rest. Awesome. So you are all rested. Some of you probably have a few kinks and cricks in your necks and backs from sleeping in this damp cave, but it was warm enough. I'll turn it back over to you for your morning rituals and what you prepare to do for the rest of the day.
Oh, can't wait to get out of this bloody cave.
Oh, no, right.
Mm. We want to pack up most of this stuff and take it with us, or leave it here and...
I think we're still going to get paid for this stuff either way. If we leave it behind and just go and find our stuff and take it back. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the stuff in this cave, you know, is going to be too much for you guys to carry back. You're going to need a wagon to transport it. I would say, Arcos, you definitely understand that just telling someone where it is might be enough to possibly get a reward. Or even if you say, well, look, I know where some of your goods are. If you give me this, I will tell you where it is. Blackmail or whatever works for you quite well, either way.
Yeah. We'll grab, like, maybe 1 or 2 things that show that...
Okay, cool.
It's, you know, we're not just talking out of our asses.
Okay, so yeah, you can grab some items that prove that the supplies are here, definitely.
Didn't you already bust the box open or something for the fire? Is there anything on there with markings or anything on it?
Yeah, say the top of that crate. Yeah, I'd say the top of that crate would have had Barthen's provisions stamped on it. So you'd be able to take that.
Take a small crate with us, even one of the smaller ones.
Yeah.
With the stamp on the side.
That would work, definitely.
That's not bad thinking for this hour of the day.
Got a pretty good rest last night.
Yeah.
And who sees everything?
Sees all.
How are you, Blue Man? Did you sleep alright?
Will you just leave me alone? I don't want to be your friend.
Just ask a question.
Just shut up. Can we get going now?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Let's go fucking get ready to get out of this fucking cave, kill who else is fucking in here.
So you spend some time eating, regaining your strength from the night before. You've had a pretty good night's rest. Arcos, you grab the small crate that you designated that you must take with you. It's not heavy. You're able to carry it yourself without too many hassles. I mean, it's not super heavy. It's heavy-ish. It's going to take it might slow you down a little bit, but nothing too significantly. You also grab another small crate with the stamp of the Barthen's provisions on the side to prove that you have found the stockpile and when you get to Phandelver. And you start making your way back towards the road where you'd left your cart and we had also stashed your supplies.
Youngblood will take that last goblin of the wolves.
Okay, no worries. So you drop that off to the wolves. Do you leave them chained up?
I want to try to, with the last food, he's going to try to like be friendly with him, see if he can untouch him without getting hurt.
So as you're doing,
killing the last wolf.
I would like to try that as well.
okay, so I will get, in that case then, we've got 2 of you doing it, so we'll get you both to roll an animal handling check, guys.
Yeah. Arcos is just going to put his crate down and sit on it and wait
watch.
to see the outcome.
We've got a 12 from Youngblood. It's not too bad. Who? I need you to roll yours as well, please.
So, what happened there?
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing.
It's all good. You still clicked the wrong thing. It was in the chat. There's a big dice next to your name in the chat.
Oh, okay. I was already in my character. Sorry about that.
That's right. Yeah, no, all these sort of rolls
You want
I'll
me
put
to re-roll it. Oh, okay. You want me to re-roll it from there?
Yeah, roll it from there. We'll see what you get. Either way, I think we'll take your higher roll, so we'll make it a 13. Either way, those rolls I'll generally get in the chat. It makes it a bit easier.
Yeah.
So with that, I would say that because you've now, especially you Youngblood, who's helping you out a little bit, but because you Youngblood, this is the third time now you've taken food to these animals, and you sort of I'd say you cut off the arm of a goblin and sort of hold it out, trying to get a wolf to take it from your hand. And at first they sort of head down, ears back, and growl a little bit at you. But after maybe a few minutes, they seem to soften up a little bit. The ears sort of lift a little, and they tentatively sort of come forward and grab the arm out of your hand. You get the impression, with the fact that you've supplied them with more food, that they're less likely to attack you at this point. They're still wild animals. You can tell it. They're wild wolves. These are not tame animals.
Yeah.
But I would say if you wish to release them, you're pretty confident that they will not attack you and that they would just make their escape.
And I'll unattach them and let them free.
They're not like padlocked or anything like that. It's just almost like a leather collar type deal with a chain around it. I would say easily enough done. Do you have a dagger on you? I believe you do.
Don't know.
Why is your inventory vanished? Oh, it's because I did that. Hang on. You don't have a dagger on you, but I know you got a knife. You got a small knife. That'd be enough. So with your small knife, you're able to cut the collars free. For a moment there, you're a little worried. So are you, because you're stood up there with them, helping them out, trying to feed them these in. And for a moment, when you cut that first one free, it sort of drops on its haunches and growls quite loudly. And then it sort of jumps from side to side, and you think, okay, that's not what I thought. It seems almost playful with you a little bit, and then it just takes off. Sort of takes off past you, out of the cave, and the others follow as soon as you release them. And they disappear, leaving you to continue your travels. So with that, the others are kind of waiting. So I'd say Zankus probably gets a little impatient with this, because this probably would have taken about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half hour or so. Arcos, you'd perched yourself on your crate and sort of waiting to see what would happen. I would say you'd probably be mildly impressed with what the goings on.
Hey, look at you. You made a friend. Some friends. Maybe if you feed old Blue some goblin bits, he'll warm up to you.
Do I hear that?
Oh, if you wanted to. I mean, depending on whether Zankus just fucked off or was waiting for them. It's up to you.
I would have waited for them.
And you would have heard it. I don't think Arcus would have said it quietly.
No.
In fact,
No,
if you
he
were
doesn't
within
care.
earshot, he probably would have made sure you heard it.
A scowling glare at him.
Not a bad idea though. Maybe I should try to feed him. Maybe it'll make him more happy.
Grab one of
Got
those
some rations.
Grab one of those knuckle bones down there they left out from that goblin and throw that over to him and see what happens.
He grabs the bone and throws it at him. Here, boy.
How does Zankus react? Do you throw it at him or to him? Youngblood.
At him.
Roll a d20 and add your strength modifier. So it's roll a d20. I think your strength's +2, I want to say. No, +3. 21. Yeah, it hits him. It's not huge. Like, this is knuckle bone from a goblin, so it's not going to be big. But I'd say it's probably a couple of knuckles and a partial hand, and he just fires it at you, and it strikes you right in the chest. Doesn't do any damage, but it stings a little.
It's a cheeky little throw. Shall be funny.
Probably gets a bit of blood on your chest, which you're probably not happy about.
Mage hand and slaps him.
I'll get you.
Invisible.
I'll get you to do the same. With your mage hand, won't be a strength, intelligence plus your what do we got here? Let's have a look. So roll a d20 plus your intelligence modifier, because this is a spell based attack. Again, are you trying to hurt him or are you just trying to send a message?
Send a message.
Okay, so d20. Just roll a d20 from the bottom of the chat there, and we'll add 1 to it.
that.
Yeah, not so good. A 9. So I would say it hits him, but it kind of felt more like a quiet breeze, sort of just past your face. Didn't even really phase you so much. Like, oh, what the fuck was that? Kind of thing. You weren't entirely sure, but you would have. Is this somatic components to that spell trash? Is it VSM or just VS?
Hang on.
I think
VS, yeah.
Yeah. So you would see. Yeah, so you would see vocal somatics. So somatics, your hand movement, vocal. So you would have seen Xankus as you toss this bone cluster at him, and he looks at you, and you hear him, you look at him, and he mutters something under his breath, and you see his hand sort of move in a slapping motion, and then you get that sort of breeze across your face. So I don't know that Youngblood would be intelligent enough to put 2 and 2 together, because your intelligence is a little low, but. I would think that you would be like, something is definitely weird about him, maybe.
Oh yeah.
He's lucky he didn't get something else.
Hey, you do what you do. I mean, you do what you do, right? So
Hey, he's grown on me. I did a less harmful version.
So what we'll do is we'll move back to our travel map for now.
Yeah.
So Arcus will jump off his crate, pick it up, and they'll walk past Anxus as they limp-wristed as expected.
And as
Yeah,
you're walking past, I put my foot out.
Arcus would definitely have an understanding of what just happened, so for sure. So you're going to try and trip him. This will be dexterity versus dexterity. This will be easy. So I can't bring this chat up because I don't have you guys tokens. So I'll get you both to make a acrobatics roll. So contested acrobatics. A natural 20 from Xankus. Holy shit. Still 22 versus 15. So yeah, so Xankus whacks his foot out super quick, and you think you've got it, and then you go to step over it, but you just catch the top of your foot on his. I would say he beat you by 7, so I would say you would trip and fall. You will do no damage, but you will stumble forward and probably down to one knee. Probably not fully down, but definitely. And you're fully aware that he did it. I mean, I don't think he was hiding it.
Oh, hell no.
How is Arcos going to react to this after his night? Because I'd say
he's just
the
gonna
night
get
would
up
still be
and-
playing on his mind too.
He's going to get up and initially be angry and sort of like turn quickly, and then he's just going to laugh because he knows he got to him.
Fair enough.
Hey, see? We're making friends. Look at you guys playing. Oh, you're so fucking cute.
I just look at the 3 of them and just go, oh no.
Oh, it's okay. Who are we all making friends? All be friendly. See, we're all playing.
Lane, somebody's gonna get hurt soon. It's just, I can see it coming.
Yeah.
Can see it
Maybe one of
coming.
us gets hurt. Maybe we don't. It's the only way this the group's gonna get going, I suppose. That's for breaking Blue Man just a little bit. Just a little
So
bit.
you're
break.
gonna whack that cow blue man or what?
He
You're
loves
good
whacking
at
that
you're
cow.
good at smacking that cow in the ass.
Have we actually loaded the card up? By any
Not yet.
chance?
You haven't got that far yet. You're getting close though.
Yeah.
So walking and talking.
Getting close.
Yeah, you're walking and talking. So it takes you a little while. Like, I mean, it took you maybe an hour from the trail to get to this cave. So it takes you about that hour. A little bit slower because you guys are carrying, like, you're carrying a crate. Arcos is carrying a crate. I think Youngblood is carrying another crate with the Barthen's provisions on it. So you are a little slower than usual. So it takes a little bit longer, but you do manage to make your way back. You do find that your supplies are still there. They were well hidden. So the supplies from the original wagon are there. You then Is anyone going to go back to the road to look for the ox and cart, or you're going to go together at this point? Because the supplies you had were a little way off the road.
Arcos, you wouldn't be kind enough to go see if we still have transport, would you?
Oh, it'd be a pleasure, dear sir. An absolute pleasure. I'll sort of try and get out of the eye line just because he's full of himself.
Yep.
And then head down and see if he can find the...
Okay. Takes you a little while. You go to the spot where you think you tied the ox up, and your initial thought is, fuck, someone stole it. And then you realise you're about 100 feet further up the road than you were the previous day. You sort of look backwards and forwards for a bit, and you look down, and just around a small bend, you spy the greyish, sort of blackish grey head of the ox from the day before, and sort of a bit of relief as you find it, and you get down there, and it's still tied up to the tree root that you tied it to. You did leave it some hay. It's gotten through all that. Sort of moors sort of solemnly at you as you approach, but it is still
buddy.
there.
It's good to see you. We're coming back.
Again, just get
See, you haven't lost
low...
any weight. I'll go get the others.
So you head back, you tell the others that, hey, it's still there. You spend the time. It would take you probably about 45 minutes to an hour to repack your wagon with the supplies backwards and forwards with the bits and pieces you had, with the added crate of Barthen's provisions and the one that you yourself have, Arcos, put onto the cart for ease of travel. And then you set off once again, heading eastward towards the turnoff that would then turn you south towards Phandelver. You know you're about a day's travel away. You should reach Phandelver by nightfall. The first part of the day goes without much incident at all. Is there anything you guys wish to discuss while you're traveling this day? Anything in particular? No?
Was there anything in
Really?
those bits of paper we found that would indicate where the dwarf is? Because I'm guessing maybe we ain't going to get paid if he's not in town.
Yeah, well, the note said that he was going to be taken to Cragmaw Castle. I'll pull it out and quickly
That's
check
right,
it.
yeah. Who did read it out to you guys? So
Didn't the human say that he would pay us?
I mean, I hope so.
Well, we've got to go see him in town anyway.
More gold is more gold, though, right?
Yeah, dwarves are a little bit picky on how they pay people. Something to note.
There's 4 of us, one of them. He's gonna pay, right?
I guess that's a way of looking at it, yeah.
I'm a nice bloke, but you try to screw me over, you're gonna get fucked over by me, right?
They're
So
tough
that's
little
the-
shitters, those dwarven guys.
I don't think he's had much experience with them.
Oh, you have Blue Man, you friends with dwarfs, is that why you don't like us?
I don't like anybody.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking.
Who knows? We don't know him. We don't even know his fucking name. Maybe
feel
he's
like-
friends with dwarves, we don't fucking know.
I feel like the rest of the world is mutual on that respect.
He's just got troubled soul, we can break. We can make him friendly. You just need to figure out what's wrong with him. He's got a broken soul, we'll fix it. Won't we, Blue Man?
No, you know what it might be? He might be a bit constipated. People get cranky when that happens, you know?
I'm beginning to think the problem's with you, Green Man. You've got an
Me?
obsession happening. You got an obsession happening. It's kind of cute, really, but it's a bit weird too.
I just like everyone to think to be friends with me. Aren't you, my friend? Or
I mean,
kind of like me?
yeah, like you, all
See?
right? I'd buy you a drink. Yeah.
Exactly. I want friends. I want people to be friendly with me. You know, I got left as a kid. Sometimes I feel
Oh,
unloved
here
and I
we
need
go.
people.
Sob stories. Oh.
Oh, I love it.
Shut up, Blue Man. Maybe you need a sob. Maybe it'll make you feel better. You got something wrong with your fucking heart.
Yeah, people like you.
Oh, oh, he's just stumbling for words. He's just upset now. I'm not giving up on you though, you blue shit. You win this round, but it's not over.
So about midday, you find the sign that leads you to Phandelver. You turn southward. This part of the trail is more travelled and slightly wider, and sort of opens out into more flatlands, sort of rolling hills to either side of the road. A few sort of spatterings of trees in the distance. You can see more farmland and stuff as you start to approach the township of Phandelver. The hills in behind Phandelver sort of climb up to the peaks of Icespire in the distance. You can see the clouds sort of hovering over the snow-capped peaks of the Icespire and the Sword Mountains behind Phandelver off to the sort of southeast. You eventually see off in the distance that sort of shape, shadowy at first and then sort of slowly coming into focus, of Phandelver. It's a small village. It's not huge by any means, but it's relatively bustling. It's got a bit of a reputation. As I said, it is a mining town. Little rough around the edges. I would say out of the four of you, Arcos, you've probably not been to Phandelver before. You've definitely heard about it. You do have some knowledge of maybe some of the rougher denizens of Phandelver, perhaps. Youngblood, you've never been to Phandelver either. You've definitely heard about it, and it's definitely got a reputation for being a little rough. Zankus, I would say you have been to Phandelver at least once, maybe twice. I would say that you've probably visited the inn, one of the inns there. But apart from that, you've never spent any long periods of time there. So you're just sort of, you're familiar with the town. That's about it. I would also say that you've probably passed through Phandelver maybe once in your life. Again, not overly familiar with the way the town's laid out. You know of the town, you know it's got a reputation, so you've probably tried to steer clear of it on more than one occasion, purely because you know that its element is a little less cordial than those of Neverwinter. I would say you're more of a city dweller than the outskirts of towns like this, but you're definitely familiar with it. And eventually you make your way to the edge of town. And that's where we'll call tonight's session, guys. I think we'll call it there. I think it's a good spot to call it before we start getting into anything else. As you enter the township of Phandelver, we will complete our level up between now and the next session. So these guys made it level 2, guys. So they have made it to level 2. They have leveled up. I will add, obviously, to their stats.
We haven't killed each other yet. Yay! Yet being the operative, the operative word there. So we'll go back to our start page here. So thank you very much, chat, for hanging out with us, of course. We've had another awesome night tonight. I'm glad you've stopped by and enjoyed our story with us. We will go through some moments in a moment, and we'll let these guys tell you about themselves and where you can find them before we head out, as we normally do at the end of the session. Say level 2 for these guys. We'll sort that out for next session. As I said, JJ, if you've got 5 minutes after session, we can go through it after session with you if you like. Otherwise, we can do it another time. Up to you. Let me know. But try and do, even if you want to try and do it yourself, and then just shoot me a message if you have any troubles.
Might be the easiest way to do it if you just to sort of go through it.
I'm going to stay in chat for a little bit afterwards and do it then. So.
Stuff.
Yeah, if you want to do it, we can do it in chat afterwards. Not a problem. I'm happy to help you guys roll through it. So that's awesome. We can do that. So before we finish up and move on, we will start with. Let's get. I'm gonna roll a d4. Fuck you guys. We're gonna do this randomly.
Do I have to take you out and wine and dine you first?
Oh yeah, totally. Gotta be a steak dinner, at least.
Dinner?
Steak dinner. So 3. So that'll be Grim. Will go first tonight. So Mr. Grim, first and foremost, tell everyone who you are and where they can find you. I mean, I know you don't stream all that often anymore, but I dare say you'll get back into it eventually.
Yeah. So, Grim Realities. I will eventually get back to streaming. As I've said every week, once work sort of sorts itself out. You can find me at the
up there above there.
Mostly do point and click adventure games, but I'm thinking of when I come back doing some other bits and pieces, maybe some board game stuff. So we'll see how all that goes.
Awesome. So we'll also get a moment or two from you, a moment about your character, something that stood out for you about you and your character, whether it was a role play moment, whatever. Just something about you first, and then something about someone else.
I really enjoyed that I got to neck a lot of goblins.
You did well. There's a couple of really good rolls there.
I just, it's probably says too much about me, but I really enjoyed describing like just coming up with interesting ways that sort of bring a bit more to the story, and I enjoy doing that and thinking on the spot.
Yeah, I think you did well too. Like that, your descriptions, a basic description will give me something to go on as a DM to describe that moment, but then sometimes I don't have to do that. So if you guys can come up with a really good description for yourselves, sometimes I don't need to elaborate on it, which is really cool.
Yeah, and a really standout moment for me was JJ's wrestling moves, and I was talking to Evil in the break.
Yeah.
Like a fighter class that's sort of uniquely sort of wrestling moves would be.
It's definitely
really cool.
given me some ideas about some potential attacks utilizing specific wrestling moves, and based on it'll obviously be a strength-based attack, where there'll be a strength save to take half damage or something like that. So be aware, JJ, you might get the opportunity to have a different attack or two to test out during this campaign. As I might develop something that suits you more so as a player, I think, because I thought that was really well done too.
No, it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. It was another good session. So
awesome. We'll then move on to, as we started with you, we'll move down to Mr. Aircode. So, Mr. Error, would you like to tell everyone who you are and where they can find you and what you do? And then we'll get a moment from you as well.
You can find me up there. There's the link there.
And there's the link there in chat too, guys.
I do a bunch of different games. Monday, Wednesday here, Monday and Friday.
Things and stuff.
Pretty much it. Yeah, things and stuff. Yeah, a bunch of different things
right, and a moment from you, from your character, either you personally or your character, and a moment from someone else, please.
Yeah, I think who had a bit of a quiet night tonight.
A little bit.
Just but Arcos and wrecking all those goblins. Yes, he got a good chance to show what he can do.
Definitely.
And the other one is JJ and Grim and Trashy. That little bit, the trip and that backwards and forwards.
Definitely, yes, that was another interesting moment. It's going to come to a head sooner or later. Someone's going to really attack someone, and I'm waiting for that moment to happen. But that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, who did have a little bit of a quiet moment tonight? But even then, the moments that you did have were still good. Like it wasn't like you were left out. I know you're relatively new to the RP situation, and sometimes it might be a little weird or you might not feel like you can jump in. But as a player, just make sure you jump in where you think your character would jump in. Don't feel like you're interrupting.
It was meant to be a quiet night for Who tonight. Like, yeah.
It seemed like Who definitely wasn't left out, and he had his moments as well, which is pretty cool. We fixed the Toll of the Dead, so that's at least something. Finally got that working the way it should work.
Can't wait for
that's
that
awesome.
Upgrade now.
Yeah, should be a bit of fun. And then we'll go over to Trashman. Now, Trashman doesn't stream, but we all know who Trashy is. But we can find Trashy here on Wednesdays and Sundays as a general rule. So we definitely got our moves. Our cow's still mooing.
Yes.
Stop that. Done. There we go. Cow's not mooing anymore. I think we'll stop that as well. So, Mr. Trashman, a moment for Zankus first, and then a moment for someone else.
For Zankus, probably the not letting up on the insults towards. Yeah, and the other one, Grim, way to go. Almost as good as me.
I mean, Zankus had his moments slaughtering things the session before with his overpowered spell, which we've now fixed. But yes, no,
one day I'll get on your level.
Is that it for you, Trash?
Yeah.
And lastly, but definitely not leastly, we have Mr. JJ. JJ, would you like to tell everyone who you are, where they can find you, and what you do?
JJ Aussie Punk. But if you come see me in my stream, I'm Boss JJ.
To some of us, it's Boss JJ.
Yes, if you come watch, if you're a wrestler, I'm Boss JJ. Run your own EFED, wrestling EFED, so people can come in, RP, my Discord, watch each other wrestle, tell some really cool stories. Have one at the moment where I could lose my company. So that's really fun.
Could
and
do.
I had a shock talk with Evil's character, which caught me off guard on stream. That was really fun.
That was the whole idea.
But yeah, so yeah, come join the EFED. Grim's in it as well. He's with me. He's gonna be on my side, trying to fight to get it back for me. So if you want to join the EFED, we have a lot of fun over there. That's pretty much me. Sometimes I've tried to fit games, even though I got a chance, but lately I haven't.
Yeah. So now a moment from Youngblood. Anything that you did as a player or a character that stood out for you, and from someone else?
I was a player, not a character. I was remembering that I had that ability to help Grim.
Yeah,
so a little bit proud of myself.
Well done on that, because I didn't fucking remember it, so you did really well.
I remembered that. Not really as character, probably the wrestling stuff as well. I love to be the fighter and mix my love for wrestling in with the D&D.
And that's
so
cool too, because of flavor. Flavor-wise, I can definitely work with it. So don't not do it, because I mean, I might be able to create a couple of attacks for that too as well. So
yeah, like working and breaking the wolf's back, basically bringing him fucked. It was really fun. Just like bringing my two loves. I love D&D now as much as wrestling these days, so bringing them both together is really fun.
Awesome.
And I know it's been said, but Grim just killing everything, and how he explains it is so fun. My imagination goes fucking wild with it. Just imagine it in my head. Really fucking fun.
Did very well with that. Thank you, Mr. JJ, and me as a DM, I'm gonna praise everybody because you all did exceptionally well. Again, I'm gonna reiterate Grim's description of his deaths, his sneak attack deaths on the first and the second goblin were great. I mean, I ad-libbed a little bit here just to fill in a few gaps, but giving the players the opportunity to make those descriptions themselves, I think is very cool. And Grim did exceptionally well with that. It was awesome. I loved it. And the thing is that I'm a very visual, like audio visual person. So when someone describes something, it doesn't matter whether it's very simple or very elaborate, I can see that shit going on in my head, which is awesome. I love it. Zankus, the Zankus attitude is freaking brilliant. Well done, Trash, for keeping it going. I thought you were softening there for a little bit, and then it all come back again. So it's like, no, it's awesome. So keeping that level of character coming.
Battle's over. We're moving on.
Exactly. So that was cool. That swing was kind of thing. I really did think that, oh, maybe he's softening a little bit now they've been in a battle, and then just came right back in again. I was like, that's fucking awesome. I loved it. Again, JJ, the just the use, like saying you wanted to run and try and spare tackle the bugbear, which obviously it didn't work, unfortunately, but the idea was cool, and it sort of made something different. And like I say, bringing your love of wrestling into D&D, why not? I mean, have some fun with it. And who being who, just like that perception check, who sees everything, like everything. And I will give Who advantages on occasion too, because he has such big eyes, and he's a fucking owl, for Christ's sakes. Owls have the biggest eyes ever, and they see fucking all sorts of shit. So there will be some advantages to that, and same with Arcos with his big bunny ears. He'll hear things that others may not. I do like to reward players for specific things like that. I mean, I don't think you get any advantages with hearing at all as a Herringon, and I don't think you get any advantages due to sight as an Owlin, which doesn't make sense to me. So I'll probably add those myself contextually. So yeah, everyone, again, a great night, guys. You did so well. Grats on level 2. Of course, we will hang around after the show, and we'll get these other guys through their level ups, and we'll do that. Thank you, chat, for hanging out. We've got a whole bunch of new followers here, just noticed too. So Doc Lobster, Armoritus, Tremor, Real Foxy, and Killer Anubis dropping the follow tonight. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it so much. I hope you enjoyed the show and enjoyed hanging out with us. As I said, we'll be here every Wednesday for the foreseeable future until they reach the end of the story, or level 5, or they die, whatever comes first. But we will be most Wednesday nights, unless we have IRL commitments, postpone the show. But generally every Wednesday night we'll have Lost Minds here. Sunday nights, Vampire Masquerade, where you'll see Trash and myself and Grim back here on Sunday for that. We are getting towards the end of that show, and then once that's done, we'll be back into our homebrew campaign, where Trashy and Grim will be back again doing that. So, and a couple other faces as well. So we're doing that tomorrow night. More map stuff. We're gonna move on with probably gonna make a start on one of the dragon heist maps tomorrow, because I did a Ice Spy Peak one yesterday, or Monday, Tuesday. And we'll do a dragon heist one, I think, start that one tomorrow. And we're going to alternate between the two modules, because I do have a particular party interested in buying the I Spy Peak maps. So we're going to get through those, so I can make up a pack and get that away to them, which will be a lot of fun. Short of that, we're going to raid somebody before we completely bugger off. Who is online to raid? Let's have a look. This might take a little while to load. My streaming PC is a little slow when I've got all this other stuff running. We have... Who do we have? We've got Michael as an Ewok doing Dungeons and Dragons. We haven't raided Mike for a while, actually. Let's see what he's up to. Might be just doing some character creation stuff. Oh, Valiant. We're gonna go raid Valiant Odyssey. I just saw him on. I know he's definitely doing stuff, and he's doing Lost Minds as well. I think we raided him last week. We're gonna raid him again, and he's the one that wants to buy my maps. So we're gonna raid Valiant. And so make sure you guys, if you're not following him already, make sure you do. He bought my Lost Minds maps and is currently running Lost Minds as well. And I think his crew has reached Phandelver also. I think they're a little bit ahead of us maybe. but it might be in a similar sort of vein. So go check them out, say good day, hit the follow button, and we will see you guys tomorrow night. I think there's the raid thing. Is it going to work? Yes, it worked. Yay. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Stay safe. Don't do anything we wouldn't do, although that doesn't leave you a hell of a lot. Bye.